Two pros and one average Joe. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
Got one there, and he whacks into left field for a base hit. Wynn scores. Donovan around third. There'll be no play at the plate. And Jordan Walker jumps on the first pitch and makes it a one-run game. Swing, fly ball, hit well toward right. At the track, at the wall. That baby's gone.
Handsome, hair.
Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter. Bradford Bruns pinch hitting the next 2 days for our guy, Andrew Marsh. Welcome to the Fast Lane. Appreciate everybody tuned in. You know how to get a hold of us. Or if you don't, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. We also have our YouTube channel, the Snake Pit rolling. Shout out to those fine folks in the Snake Pit. Cardinals win again last night. They take the series against Baltimore.
Oh, baby.
6-4 winners. Let's do our exit survey, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Biggest storyline for you, Jamie Rivers.
Ooh, biggest storyline for me, there's a lot. Biggest storyline for me is this year's version of the Cardinals are never out of a game.
Yeah.
That offense just keeps clawing back into it.
I literally wrote the same thing down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where'd you
I didn't write the exact same words.
Show me.
I wrote it down. Look, best compliment I can give them is that you can't turn the game off.
Why do you keep turning the phone?
Because I was
He
reading
doesn't want you to see the other stuff he's been looking at.
I was reading it. Can you see that?
No.
Put your glasses on. Can you see
There you
now?
go.
No.
Okay.
You hear me now?
But your microphone was
Oh.
yeah,
Carey,
so,
I believe you.
yeah, I believe you too, Carey. I'm just playing around, man.
I
You
did.
know,
I wrote that
we trust
down.
but we verify here in the
Yeah.
Fast
No,
Lane.
good call.
That's all there is to it. But no, I just got 4-0 at one point. I'm like, we're done here. And then all of a sudden, it's not 4-0 anymore. You're up 6-4, and then so for me, that was the biggest takeaway.
The same thing. I said that the best compliment I can give this team throughout this entire season is I can't turn the game off. Where in 23, I damn sure turned those games off. I didn't give a damn what they were doing. No problem. I had much better things. I didn't have anything better to do, but I could find something. I could watch some paint dry. I could watch the grass grow. There was probably a worm that was matriculating his way through the yard. I could have figured it out.
Love it.
That? Yeah. I could have found it, and tried to see how that was going about. I wasn't watching that damn game if they were down 4-0.
Was it 1-0 in the first?
Yeah, we're down here.
Catch you later.
You're right, though. So how ironic is that? Is that last year and the seasons before that, if the Cardinals got down 1 or 2 runs, and it's over. There was no chance.
No reason to watch.
No, we're done here.
I don't want to.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah. They had to be up after the 7th inning for you to stay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But no. So that's the best compliment I can give this team. I can't turn the game off because they literally will find a way to get back into it.
Yeah, it was the storyline. Yep. That is the storyline. Another comeback win for the Cardinals last night. They fall behind 3-0, eventually get down 4-2, and they just keep plugging away. Win, doubles, Donovan, homers. That's in the 5th to give them the lead. And then in the 7th, Herrera adds an insurance run when he hits a double to score a win. So that is the biggest storyline. It's the comeback again for the Cardinals. Bradford, do you have something else? Or should we move on to kudos?
Guys, honestly, just make it unanimous because I want to focus specifically on the top 3. Over the past few days, you mentioned the double, obviously, by Herrera. He hasn't quite been as Herculean at the plate, but how about 1 through 3? 11 for 15, all 6 runs scored. And if you're going to be winning consistently and being able to really acquit yourselves well on the road in particular, it boils down to the top 3 from top to bottom, just exceptional.
Biggest kudos, I'm going to hand it to the bullpen. What a remarkable job by the pen last night.
Were you? I was a little surprised that Leahy came in so early. He's normally been, and I know you. Yeah, he came in early. He usually. He's more
him in the position. Yeah. You needed to get Miles out.
No,
of there.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm just
him first out of the pen.
Out of the pen.
Yeah.
You know, I know.
In the 5th.
Somebody had to come get Miles. I was surprised that it was him.
You can go get him now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, got it.
I was surprised by that, but. Yeah, I mean the bullpen has been outstanding too. I mean, what do you want from these guys?
So they go 5 innings last night, allow 3 hits. 2 were by Helsley. 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, and quick math on this one, 6 Ks. 6 strikeouts for
That's
the
good,
bullpen.
man. Good job.
Who had to cover a lot of ground. Each guy took their inning. Each guy didn't give up a run. Each guy deserves kudos, I think, following last night's game.
Same thing for me. It was the bullpen, and you needed to get Miles out of there. And the fact that you had a off day today, travel day, whatever you want to call it, getaway day, all that stuff, okay? You were able to just zip through your bullpen. You didn't have to worry about innings or pitches and whatnot because everybody's going to get a little bit of a rest today.
Right.
So I thought it was, one, a great job by the bullpen. I also thought it was good decisions by the staff to get Miles out of there and then use these guys accordingly.
I am shocked by you two.
Whoa.
You two. You guys don't watch ball.
What?
Huh?
What?
How's Brendan Donovan not your biggest kudos, huh?
Well,
Because I just expect it now.
Nah, that's your biggest kudos. He's
We
the-
already got it. Bradford already gave him his flowers.
Give him more flowers. He can never, that guy can never have enough
They
flowers.
like flowers.
Man, that guy can never get enough
What's your
flowers.
favorite flower, Carey?
I mean, the roses. These daisies are nice. Calla lilies are nice flowers as well. Yeah.
I like water lilies. Those
Water
are nice.
lilies?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Anthony?
Venus flytrap.
Oh, okay.
Might as well just say a cactus is fine. Kind of, you know what? I get it. Bradford, your favorite flower?
How about some azaleas?
Huh?
I'm a golf guy. Love some azaleas. You know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Good. Man.
Yeah. Brendan Donovan, kudos. What the hell is wrong with you,
Bradford.
guys?
Let's give a little more.
How much time we got? Go on, Bradford.
How about just a little more love for the non-grade A options coming out of the bullpen? We all know who the high leverage arms are on this team. We know about Ryan Helsley. We know about the individuals in the setup capacity. But don't look now. Jojo Romero is scoreless. He has not been scored upon in the entire month of May. Now, I'm not here to say that you're basically hearkening back to the first half of last season, but he has been borderline dominant of late. And also don't discount John King for consecutive scoreless appearances. So the bridges right now to your guys in the 8th and the 9th, you're seeing it from everybody.
All right, biggest criticism. Miles Mikolas, all say aye. Aye. Not. He's been good. He's been good. One good last night. Allows 9 hits, 4 runs. Didn't walk anybody.
For me, the hits. Yeah, okay.
They were getting on.
We're hitting them right.
They were getting on because of the hit, but,
And it's not just the hits. Like when you're getting hit hard, for me that becomes concerning because either you don't have the velocity or you don't have the location.
Yeah.
You're I don't want to say he's tipping pitches, but you're giving something to the opposing team where they're like, "Yep, I know it's coming," and it ain't coming fast enough for me not to miss it, to not hit it hard. And so watching that, I think that was a concern for me last night. I don't know. Maybe it was the weather. It was rainy, and maybe there's a little bit of a delay. You know, sometimes pitchers are quirky like that. They're like kickers. If everything isn't correct, they kind of weird at times.
yeah, if the routine gets
thrown
altered.
off.
I don't think it's this, though. I don't think
It was a delay. The game was delayed.
Really?
The game was delayed by 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You get ready, you get revved up, and then you say, go sit down. You're like, oh, no.
Carey, let me tell you something, okay? It's a couple games in my career. I went up, took warm-up, played a couple of shifts in the first period. Then I didn't touch the ice again until the third period.
Yeah.
I was required to do my job in the third period. The coach didn't go, oh, well, he's out of his routine. He's been sitting for a little while. No, it was go play, and if you suck, you don't play next game.
Yeah.
And make sure you get off the ice when Mario Lemieux's on the...
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he struggled. Period. He's been really good, but when you don't have swing and miss stuff, you don't have stuff that's gonna get opposing hitters to chase. A lot of stuff is in play, even when the defense has been as good for the Cardinals, like it has been. If the ball's put in play hard, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
You got rocket shots hit at you constantly.
Hey, I mean, Jordan Walker was running around like crazy. He was like left, going right, going left. I am not going to get this ball.
Nope.
Yeah.
Miles couldn't even throw at the first base. That's really concerning to me.
Yeah.
And everybody will blame. He probably blamed Contreras for that.
Oh, you again.
Yeah, I thought I got rid of you.
Yeah.
Now you're at first base and you can't catch the ball.
Unbelievable. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. The Florida Panthers, everybody, Jamie and I both got our picks
you
last
did.
night. Panthers won for Jamie. Panthers scored a lot of goals for me. So Jamie and I continue to. I'm still one behind you. I was going to say neck and neck, but I'm still one behind you with 2 days left and bet the board. Carey, did you hit yours?
Yeah, I did.
What was your pick?
He's lying. He's
hit it.
lying. Look at the face.
Do you not trust me?
No.
Not now. The way you're acting, no.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what hurts more, you know? I
believed you before, but the way you're acting is a true indication that you did not, in fact, hit your bet the board pick last night.
I did hit my bet the board. Trust me. I wouldn't lie to you.
What was your pick again?
SGA, 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Anthony?
I'll look that up.
I just told you he got it, man. He got 49.
It's your body language that concerns me.
He nailed it. He got it.
I might be a good poker player. You know? I don't have tails.
All right, he had 34 points.
Hotels.
7 or 8 boards.
He had 7 rebounds, 8 assists.
8 assists. He hit it.
I said he hit it. You don't trust me?
What's going on?
The way he.
Did you not have SGA last
I
night?
did have SGA. You don't trust me?
There's something weird. We'll
Something's
figure it
off.
out. Yeah.
Nothing. I just want to see if you guys believe me or not. And I know now.
He channeled Halliburton last night. I feel you,
one.
Carey.
Yeah, neither one of you trusted me.
I trusted you until you acted weird.
Right.
Why did I act weird?
I don't know.
What's weird? I'm just being myself.
No, that's
You're
not
smiling
you.
a lot.
Yeah, you're not
I
crabby
always
right
smile.
now.
What are you not telling us?
Nothing. I just wanted to see you all's reaction. And once you didn't believe me, I just leaned into it more. Okay.
All right.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
Anyways,
Hand over your computer.
Panthers are heading back to the Stanley Cup. We'll get into their victory. Business-minded to close them out last night, but we'll talk about whether or not a team like the Hurricanes need to completely change what they're doing since they fall short again. And does Dallas have a real shot of extending that series in the Western Conference? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Start your day with the morning after on 101 ESPN. Get in the know first on everything St. Louis sports with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Martin Kilcoy. Listen to TMA weekday mornings from 7 to 11 a.m. on 101 ESPN. The morning after is presented by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm.
This Friday, May 30th, it's the Frank Lita Honda St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway Ticket Pop-Up.
ESPN has your chance to win a pair of passes to Holiday World and Splash and Safari, celebrating 25 years of free unlimited soft drinks. Make the most of your family's summer with a trip to Holiday World and Splash and Safari, the water coaster capital of the world. Find more details and enter to win free passes to Holiday World and Splash and Safari right now at 101ESPN.com or your 101 mobile app. Strap yourself in. You're in the fast lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
Ekblad with a shot, scores! Juck with the puck, hit by Martin. Bennett's got it. Bennett to the net, scores! Rodriguez, his first goal of the series. And it's a simple redirect through the 5-hole of Anderson. And within a couple of minutes, a 2-0 lead has evaporated.
Impressive victory last night for the Florida Panthers. They advanced to yet another Stanley Cup final. This is a third in a row, correct? They had the one where they lost. Last year they won, and then this is their third straight. Sportsnet, by the way, on the audio there. I want to actually start, guys, with the Carolina Hurricanes because inevitably when a team loses in the way they did, in this case, the Florida Panthers are defending Stanley Cup champions. There's no shame in that. But this Panthers team, once again, had an excellent regular season. They advanced to the Eastern Conference Final, and they fall short. I think when a team like that continues to fall short, they, again, wind up being kind of the more interesting aspect of the series aspect.
Yeah.
Why do you think what do you do if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, Jamie? You don't want to blow it up, but what can they do so that they get over the hump?
Yeah, so it really comes down to the owner. Tom Dundon is a very, very successful businessman, like worth billions and billions of dollars. But he thinks that the best path to a championship is bare minimum. Rod Brind'Amour, the head coach, had to threaten not to re-sign with the team so that his assistant coaches could get raises and get extensions. Don Waddell, who's no longer with the team, was a GM forever. He lost almost all of his scouting staff because Tom Dundon felt like 2 or 3 guys could scout multiple games a night by watching it on their computers rather than sending guys to buildings. Where
Gotcha.
He doesn't understand that some of the trades happen because of personal relationships.
Right.
You hear guys talking about a player, maybe nothing to do with you. I'm in these buildings. I see these scouts every night, and I pick up so much stuff. It's valuable information. But he didn't feel like that was valuable. It's just, he does business weird. He does it like a business. He doesn't understand that hockey or sports is just different. Mm-hmm. And so he's a value guy. You know, what's the value of this player? Well, we need a player that is in that value because that's what we need. So it's a 30-goal scorer, let's just say, is worth $6 million. Well, let's go get this $6 million player because he's going to give us 30 goals. Mm-hmm. That's not exactly true.
Yeah, right.
It's not a given. So all of that to say is that they have a massive offseason coming here now. They have built an incredible team. An incredible team that's just missing a few pieces, and they have an incredible head coach. They play an extremely taxing style of hockey. Whenever they come in here to play the Blues first time in the season, you're always like, oh my gosh. Like defensemen are pinching, there's forechecking, there's speed, you're like, that's overwhelming at first. So you kind of figure things out a little bit. But they've got to find the right pieces. So the Carolina Hurricanes going into next season have over $30 million in cap space. So picture that team you saw last night that fell short to the Panthers have $30 million in cap space. They need to add some grit to that lineup. One, they need a bona fide star. Mm-hmm. They tried with Rantanen, but Rantanen got there and found out just how things are operating there. I was like, I'm out. I will not be resigning. Not going to resign here.
We're good here.
We're good. So for me, they have to change the culture a little bit. And I don't know who's able to tell Tom Dundon to back off of his own, like what he owns. It's pretty tough to tell the owner stay out of it. But then they need to add a superstar. Like they need a stud player, and then they need to backfill with grit. They get pushed around all over the place. They don't have any toughness. There's not one guy in that lineup anybody's scared of. When Svechnikov is running around like he's supposed to be the tough guy, do you think the Panthers were rattled?
No.
No. They did whatever the hell they wanted throughout that whole series. This is why the Hurricanes are falling short. So the roster construction has to be done by a hockey person moving forward, not some analytics person, not some outsider, not somebody who thinks that the number over here matches the number over there when it's totally different.
Yeah.
So to me, I would have Rod Brendamore actively involved in all of the player transactions in the offseason.
It's a weird mix. I thought of two teams when you were talking. Right at the end, I thought of the Tampa Bay Rays, where you're trying to find like the diamonds in the roughs, the value, and everything's done on a spreadsheet. Cleveland can be like that a little bit. I think the Cardinals are trying to find the balance between not being just the spreadsheet team and also a team that can create those relationships. But the other team I thought of, Carey, is the Bengals. When, Jamie, you were discussing the scouts and small staff and one guy can handle X, Y, and Z, Paul Brown was always somebody that was like ahead of the curve in the NFL. Bill Walsh was under Paul Brown. Probably should have stuck with Bill Walsh, but he eventually goes to Stanford, San Francisco. But Paul Brown was like one of the icons in the NFL. And they have slowly just gotten away from what the standard should be. The Bengals, I think, have the smallest scouting staff in the NFL. If not now, they did for a long period of time because they always thought, we'll just do it with the absolute bare minimum.
Yeah.
And they are the same way in terms of paying players. Like you hear Trey Hendrickson going through his battle and how they are. I think he said something along the lines. He doesn't feel like they are even respectfully engaging in conversations. We've heard that in the past about former players that have gone through the situation where they expect to be paid. I don't know if they have one now, but I know when I was playing, and I think they just got one. I think they just got an indoor facility.
Wow.
Like
for practices.
For practices.
Yeah.
Like it gets cold in December, and this is not. Trust, every team in the league has an indoor facility. I think the Bengals just got one here in the last 3 to 5 years. Like November, December, January, you're still practicing outside, and you're like, okay, it's just ownership not saying, yeah, I'm going to do what's best for my players and make sure that they're taken care of. So
there's a lot of different things there. Like the Rams used to go inside when there was a thunderstorm, with lightning and everything. They're like, all right, let's just move inside so that the practice can continue. But also, it's not just about toughness
field conditions. Sure. Like if you're outside, normally it's grass. You could have a turf field, but normally it's the grass outside. So inside, you can go inside and it's a turf field. It's not worried about slipping if it's raining. And you can still, we would practice indoors in Pittsburgh and open all the doors and turn the air on. It's still freezing inside. So you're still getting game elements, but you're not dealing with the rain or the slippery field or things like that where guys can get injured.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Cincinnati has not done. I don't know if they have it now, but I think they may have gotten in the last 3 to 5 years.
And without Joe Burrow, I don't know where they're at. Tonight, you'll have the Oilers and the Stars, Game 5. Edmonton leads 3-1, so they can close things out against the Stars in Dallas. Stars have a shot, Jamie, of extending
Absolutely. Anytime Stuart Skinner's in the net, you have a chance. Because I was telling Bradford, I've told you guys this, he's either unbeatable or unhittable.
No in between.
There's no in between for Stuart Skinner. And if for some reason tonight the Dallas Stars can get to him early, you might see 4 or 5 easy goals. Boom. And then he's out of the game. Calvin Pickard's in. Then you got a goaltender controversy again because Pickard was playing really well until he got hurt. And the only reason he was playing is because Skinner was terrible.
Yeah.
So things can change quickly. If Skinner plays the way he has been the last couple of games, the series is over tonight. But if he doesn't play to the level that's needed, then this could go 7. So this is a game I wouldn't bet on. Like if I was in Vegas, I'd stay away from it.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That's Jamie Rivers. Got Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Bradford Bruns pinch hitting for Andrew Marsh the next 2 days. Don't forget, we got Freedom Friday tomorrow, too, boys. Freedom Friday. So start thinking of those topics, anything that we have not discussed that you've wanted to have us discuss, or maybe it's just a situation where it's like, I've always wanted to ask this of a couple of former athletes, whatever it may be. We got Freedom Friday tomorrow.
Repo guy.
Absolutely, yeah. Repoed cars in Detroit.
Yes, you did.
Got some stories, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You
Enterprise
heard
Rent a
this
Car.
stuff?
No.
Gosh.
I was on the repo team.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It was only in Detroit.
In Detroit. People don't want to give their cars back, Carey.
Yeah, they're
How did
fine
that
with it.
go?
I got stories.
Yeah, I need to hear. I'm sure.
We'll say it this way. We always used to take, like, the whatever, like, the black SUV was on the lot. We would take that and wear, like, suits and sunglasses. So small shot, they thought it was the feds. Yeah. Like,
just in case.
because if it's me in, like, a green Enterprise polo, I may not leave the
You
property.
might not.
You know?
Like
But if
it's
they think it's
stuffed into the
feds,
trunk.
Just in case they think
Yeah.
this might be some federal
these
thing.
guys, right.
Did you roll up? Didn't you have an earpiece in?
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
Talking into your sleeve?
Yeah. That's not even a joke. Yeah.
This feels like a podcast in the making. Tales from the seedy underbelly.
Yeah, it was rough. But anyways, yeah, if you ever get a question for a former repo guy,
Never knew that.
in my early 20s, trying to get in the radio. Like, what am I doing with my life?
2 pros and 1 guy that did repo.
There you go.
I like that better than the current promo we got going. All right, speaking of Bradford Bruns, he's got what's trending for you next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
If you love sports memorabilia and meeting former athletes or current athletes at these shows, please head out to the St. Louis Sports Show starting tomorrow, May 30th. That's located at the Doubletree Hilton in Chesterfield. It's going to be an amazing event. Tomorrow, what way to kick it off? Grant Fuhr, my former goaltender, unbelievable player, Hall of Fame. I think he's got 5 Stanley Cup rings. He's a great dude to talk to, loves talking about golf. He's got some favorite courses here in St. Louis, so ask him about that. Another former Blue, Ryan O'Reilly, will be there throughout the weekend. They've also got some Mizzou 2025 draft picks, number 7 NFL draft pick, Armand Membu, and new Mizzou top receiver, Kevin Coleman Jr. Don't miss out on UFC legend Matt Hughes, and St. Louis City SC has a number of players going, but for me, the main attraction is Roman Berkey. He will be there. It's going to be an awesome event. There's going to be card vendors, memorabilia vendors. The Ambush will be there. St. Louis Ambush in there. It's going to be items that you can bid on through a silent auction. And don't forget about Waito's International Cuisine food truck. That will be there Saturday and Sunday serving excellent food. And to get ahead of it, you get a discount code. That's right, 30% off any player signings if you use the code FASTLANE30 at checkout. So FASTLANE30 at checkout, and you can check out the website for all the information regarding this unbelievable event. Go to stlsportshow.com.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Dodgers and Yankees. Pre-game at 5. First pitch at 6:10. The MLB plays on 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Another Camden Yards comeback for Cardinals. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Bruns with the Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Last night in Baltimore, St. Louis rallied past the host team 6-4. Brendan Donovan going yard. Mason Wynn recording 4 hits while Ollie Marmol's bullpen worked 5 scoreless innings. Tomorrow, SDL visits Texas. Right now, Philadelphia pacing Atlanta 4-2. Hoops this evening brings Game 5 of Pacers-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals style as Indy could close out NY. Ice-wise, Dallas hopes to avoid elimination versus Edmonton. The Sports Center update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN. Driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling. What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
It is time for What's Trending now at just past 2:30 in the Lou on the Fast Lane. Bradford Bruns, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, as well as Carey Davis with you. Guys, last night's outcome, as we discussed in the previous segment, between Carolina and Florida, not exactly in doubt. However, the handshake line thereafter, it got a little more murky. So, yeah, the Panthers head coach, Paul Maurice, he was not out there. Rod Brindamore also sidelined. Confusion, a lot of it actually ensued, but the head coach from Florida tried to diffuse a little bit of it at the podium. Take a listen.
It's a personal belief, and I really appreciate what he did because I understand the risk, that there's a bit of a risk. So the story goes like this. I don't believe that the coaches should shake players' hands at the end. There's this long list of people in suits and tracksuits. I mean, we had like 400 people on the ice. They're all really important to our group, but not one of them was in the game.
That audio courtesy of Hockey on Fanatics View. Jamie, nonetheless, I'm confused.
Yeah, so Paul Maurice did this last series against Toronto, and he kind of briefly explained it after. But here's my issue with it. And I love Paul Maurice. You know this guy. So he's one of my favorite coaches. I think he's awesome to listen to. I could listen to him talk about hockey for days. Mm-hmm. He's wrong on this one in a couple of fronts. One, it's not everybody in tracksuits and suits and everybody that shakes hands. No, it's the coaching staff. The coaching staff gets in line and shakes the players' hands. The coaching staff have as much invested in that series as the players do. Now, do they battle? Do they fight? Do they block shots? No. But the game planning, the adjustments, the rosters, the line combinations, the countering the other team's strategies, all of that is part of the game. All of that is necessary for the guys who are in the battle to win the series. So I disagree with them 100% in that. And I think there are some players that coaches want to shake their hand. I know for a fact that coaches last year wanted to shake Barkov's hand and tell him how amazing he was because it's a sign of respect. They learned something about this player. And now they're denying that opportunity for the interaction. I think it's silly. But the biggest part for me that's silly, and Paul Maurice is alluding to, he said in another press conference, he said, somewhere along the way, there's a head coach that wanted more camera time or something, so he got in line to shake the players' hands and whatnot. Okay, Paul, what are you doing right now? Because the whole hockey world last night thought you and Rod Brindamore were arguing on the ice. And then the first question at the presser wasn't about your performance of your team. It was like, what just happened on the ice? And he has to go through and explain it. And guess what I'm seeing on social media today? Nothing but Paul Maurice and Rod Brindamore having to talk about shaking players' freaking hands.
Good call.
So Paul Maurice,
he said he didn't want it to be.
He doesn't want the spotlight, right? Problem is, the spotlight is solely on him now.
Right.
So how did that work out for you, Paul?
Not great.
Not great. Just get in the damn line and shake hands.
Right.
Like, why does somebody have to be the salmon that's swimming upstream? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get it. Like, he makes a good point. He's like, Well, way back in the 90s and the early 2000s, the coaches didn't do that. They shook each other's hands and they went to their locker rooms. Okay, so somewhere along the way, it changed. The NFL, coaches used to dress in suits and ties and fedoras. They don't do that anymore. Right.
Things change.
Things change, Mox.
NBA coaches don't dress in suits anymore.
No.
That happened after COVID. Like, they just stopped wearing suits. Like, we're done.
Things change. And at some point, it maybe goes back to no shaking the players' hands. But right now it is. And it's a sign of sportsmanship. It's a recognition of the battle.
Yeah.
So Paul Maurice is completely wrong on both fronts on that. And I don't think it's a great thing. And furthermore, instead of it being an issue on the ice with the other head coach where it looks like you guys are arguing after the game, every coach in the NHL has the email and cell phone number of the other head coach. Before the series even starts, send a note. Hey, Rod, I'm not sure if you know this. I don't believe in the coaches shaking the players' hands. So whoever wins or loses at the end of this, just the coaches maybe, we head to our locker rooms. Your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Now, Rod can say, yeah, that's fine. I get it. Or why? And they can go back and forth. Has nothing to do with the strategy or the battle. Now it's behind closed doors, and then it's not an issue. Mm-hmm. Standing on the ice going, yes or no, yes or no.
Right. I think the worst part about that whole scenario is it takes away, like you said, from what I think is one of the best traditions in all of sports. Like, for guys to literally punch each other in the face, hit each other in the boards, like really go after one another. And you have this, it's almost like the same as after a boxing match when both guys meet at the center, give each other hugs, say good job, and go to each other's corners and congratulate the corners, win, lose, or draw, whatever the case may be. I think that's one of the best things that happens in all of sports at the end of a game or end of a series, watching those hockey players shake each other's hands. There's nothing like it because it's sportsmanship. It's like going back to your youth days when you're at first base and the other team is at third base and you go and give each other good game. It's to me, it's really cool to watch hockey players do that.
Sorry, Carey, we get a really bad take from the 910. It says, don't even shake hands after a series. Just go to the locker room. Only sport that does it. You just said it right there.
I just literally said why.
Carey just said that.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Because it's so different. Mm-hmm. Like hockey, they're going at it. Like they are, and you might punch a guy in the face.
Well, you probably will.
And you tell them after the game, man, whew, that was a hell of a punch. Great game.
And football kind of does it.
They do.
They don't do it in a traditional sense.
Yeah, it's not a line. You don't line up.
Yeah, right. The head coaches always do, or else it becomes an issue. Correct. The cameras are right there. The other thing too, and you guys have both coached, and you guys have been a part of, I'm sure, teams where you're an assistant coach. I think it's a bad message you're sending to your assistant coaches as well. Jamie, you had said to start this how important the assistant coaches are.
All of them,
everybody. So you're going to ask your guys, and look, the Florida Panthers, a lot of success, obviously. So clearly Paul Maurice is doing it right. I would be interested in his thoughts, though, when it comes to you guys are going to have to work your asses off for me. You have to work your ass off. You're a big part of this. And then at the end of a series, say, but you didn't play, so
it makes no sense to me.
You know what I mean?
And Florida, what's counterproductive to that, or hypocritical. That's what's hypocritical about that is when Matthew Tkachuk got to Florida, Paul Maurice in particular and other players raved about how Matthew Tkachuk made everybody feel like they're part of the team, from the PR staff to the ticketing guy to the sales staff. Whoever is around that team has been made to feel like they're a part of the championship too. So, but now you're saying it's just the players on the ice.
Right.
And last year you shook everybody's damn hand. Mm-hmm. And this year after
he's tired.
This year after the Lightning series, you shook everybody's hand.
Yeah.
It's a weird pivot. It's just a weird pivot. I don't like it.
Brady did that too.
Maybe he doesn't respect the guy.
Like with what Tkachuk did. Like he knew everybody in the building.
Yeah. But if that's your motto, we're all in this together, then you're all in it together.
Right.
Jamie, interesting that you mentioned email a couple of minutes ago, because prior to what the Washington Capitals, contrary to what they sent out earlier today, Alex Ovechkin indeed will not be retiring after next season. A little bit of a faux pas, to say the least, from the corporate sales department, which distributed an email to season ticket holders, guys, earlier today, False alarm. Ovi will not be retiring as soon as the conclusion of the 25-26 season. This is a big-time gaffe.
Yeah, one, we don't know if Ovi will play beyond it because
For sure.
he will be an unrestricted free agent. Somebody would sign him, I'm sure, if the Washington Capitals don't. Although Ted Leonsis has said he's a Capital for life. So if he wants to play, he'll be a Capital. So we don't know what the future holds for Ovi. But what a PR mess for the Washington Capitals. Apparently it was a former employee maybe or somebody.
He was in he or she was former after they sent that email out.
Yeah, but I think they were former to begin with and still had the mailer
password.
list.
He had the password.
Somebody missed the assignment. And it went out this morning and it started to circulate and Spit and Chicklets talked about it. Other websites talked about it. And then the Capitals had to send out a big letter saying that this is not true. I mean, what a nightmare. Ted Leonsis probably woke up this morning going, are you kidding me? We just had an epic season. Finished second in the NHL where nobody thought we were going to make the playoffs. Ovi breaks the goal scoring record, and now I got to deal with this crap.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation.
How much longer do you really envision him posting up from the circle, filling that role and doing it well in Washington?
Let's dive into this just for a second here, okay?
Because 44 goals.
He scored 44 goals, and he missed a month.
A lot of times.
He's not done.
He would have scored over 50 goals
easily.
Again. So when you put it into perspective like that, who knows? And he's lethal out there on the power play. There's nobody that's more intimidating on a power play except maybe Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. But even that might be a stretch.
What areas of his game have taken a dip? Normally, once you get to a certain age, Jamie, I'm all about, once guys get older. He's about to be 40 here in a couple of months.
Yeah.
In September. What has dipped? Is it speed? Is it?
Oh, it's speed.
It's
speed.
But does it really matter in the sense of?
Not for him.
You're why doesn't it matter?
Why
is
he? He really doesn't have to get anywhere in a hurry.
He can get there whenever he needs to. He's good.
He scoots around just good enough right now, and he's 240 Gordy out there. I think he's 6'3", 240.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to crush guys. I mean, when he wants to, he puts a guy, he buries a guy.
Yeah.
And he gets to the front of the net. You can't move him. And then he's got that lethal one-timer from his spot there. He could play another 3 years.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Which would conceivably maybe put that record out of reach for the foreseeable future.
I think it's out of reach anyways, personally, because Ovi's had an unbelievable career, but he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
This year was the first time he's had an extended period of time with an injury. So somebody else like Austin Matthews is on pace right now to beat it, but he'd have to be healthy for the next 12 years, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's an unbelievable player.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. When we return, why don't we do a quick bet the board?
Oh, sure, Anthony. Just throw that at us.
He did. Because he's already got his.
Exactly,
prepared.
Carey. Exactly.
And he tries to throw it at us. So we do it.
You can always tell when Anthony's one behind or he's getting a little too uber competitive.
Yeah, he kind of. That's what he does. It's okay. We'll be ready.
We'll be ready. Go ahead, buddy. Go to your commercial.
Yeah. Continue.
Mush.
Back-to-back winner. Bet the board. March and April.
About a three-peat there, pal.
Bradford just trying to.
We just figured out why.
Do something nobody else has ever done in Bet the
We
board
just figured out
history.
why.
Baby.
Yeah.
Gets his picks before we can prepare.
Catches off guard.
Yeah.
Bet the board next on 101 ESPN.
Big matchup tonight in the NHL. Edmonton Oilers in Dallas to play Dallas Stars. What better way to get in on the action than getting in there with Circa Sports Illinois, the app. Download the app. You can find it on their website or any app store for that matter. It's really easy to use, super user-friendly. And if you have any problems, you get to talk to an actual person, not a bot or any computer system. No, you talk to somebody real. Tonight, for me, I'm all over some power play points here. Connor McDavid, register 1 power play point. That's plus 115. Leon Draisaitl, plus 128 for a power play point. I'd be all over that over at Circa Sports Illinois, the app. They've got great lines on futures bets as well, tight money line splits, and always they have the best odds of any app that is out there, which means bigger payouts for you, and they've got high betting limits. So please don't hesitate. Get over there, download the app, and bet like a pro today, and you're going to love it. You're going to thank me for all of the great winnings you've got over there at Circa Sports Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
This is the Fast Lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Bet the Board. Bradford Bruns in for Marsh today. Do you have our updated standings, sir?
Pretty stellar stuff, gentlemen. Looking for the up-to-date exact standings of last night. All three of you were victorious. Marshy was the only one to take it on the chin because he had the exact score of 5-2 in favor of Florida. But fine work, Carey, on the NBA side, and you guys doing that hockey, I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Shakalaka.
So I believe Jamie is still up by 1 on me, and I'm up on Carey by 1.
Yeah.
Correct, Carey?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's right.
All right. So Jamie Rivers.
All right.
It's today and tomorrow, by the way. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks, Tips.
I was actually talking to the listener.
Oh, okay.
Because they're
But
wondering.
you looked at me.
Well, because you're going to give us your pick now.
Because you're in the studio, remember? We only talk to people here.
Right.
The only reason we talk to you is because you're here.
He just accused you of cheating.
I did
You
not.
did too.
I know, but so did he.
I just questioned Carey.
Like, you got a look on your face.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here.
You had a bit of a look on your face. All right. So I said earlier today, if I was in Vegas, I'd stay away from this game.
And?
I lied. I lied. I'm going to go with the Edmonton Oilers to win on the money line, plus 115. And
here it comes.
Connor McDavid to record a power play point. And Leon Draisaitl to record a power play point. And that's it.
Wow.
A very doable parlay.
You're looking to put us
I don't
away.
like it.
He's looking to put us away.
Draisaitl, PowerPoint play.
Power play point.
Power.
Not
play,
a PowerPoint
PowerPoint.
presentation.
Yeah, PowerPoint.
I'm sure you could do one of those.
I'm sure he could, yeah, before the game.
And Connor McDavid?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Because, McDavid
And-
usually passes it to Draisaitl.
Yeah,
He shoots that one
what have
time
they
from
ever
right
done?
down below.
What have they ever done?
I'm going with the Seattle Mariners, minus 120 tonight against Mackenzie Gore and the Nationals. So give me the Mariners minus 120.
McKenzie.
And that's it.
That's all you got?
All right.
I root for Jamie to lose.
Yeah.
And then we're
Tie game,
tied
and then
going into tomorrow.
Then you don't even need your parlay then.
I hope McKenzie's leading the league in strikeouts. Hopefully he strikes
I respect-
every one of them out.
I respect you, though. You're going for the kill shot here.
I think it's a very doable parlay.
I like it.
It's not 6, 7, 8. It's 3.
Yeah. Like what Marsh did the other day.
Oh, my God.
That was crazy.
He got all excited.
He did.
Such a cute guy.
He hit the one. He hit the one, and then
That was it.
I'm nervous. I need it. I need both of you all to lose. I need Mackenzie Gore to strike out as many Mariners as possible. Connor McDavid, he can get his power play point to someone else. And they can still win, but you lose. Give me Tyrese Halliburton. 35 and a half over.
Okay.
let me look this up.
I would.
Why do you have to look
35 and a
that
half
up?
what?
35 and a half over. Points, rebounds, and assists.
All of the categories.
Can you refresh the page,
Seems
please?
It just refreshed. You just saw it.
Again, please.
Come on, man.
Seems low for points, rebounds, and assists, but I'll take a look.
Really
Yep.
does.
I have verified.
35 and a half.
I have
The
verified.
odds just went down.
35 and a half. I verified it. Bradford will pick for Andrew Marsh, who mathematically is out, but
And has given up.
and has given up.
He has given up.
At least Bradford has not, though. Bradford always gives very thoughtful picks when he has to sub in. So
Carey, I am also on that Pacers-Knicks tip. I am going to dive into, actually make use. You know what I said, Jamie. I'm going to make use of some of the knowledge and intel that I picked up Tuesday at Greenbridge. That's right, I was out there with Chalamet, 50 Cent, and whatnot. You know, but humble brag. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's exactly with whom you associate your boy. But anyway,
pizza.
I won't go down the Halliburton road, okay? Leave that to you, Carey. But there was somebody off of the Pacers' deep bench. Pacers looking to close it out tonight in 5 games. Scored 20 in the span of 12 minutes the other night. That would be Benedict Mathurin. Give me over 7.5 tonight at that number, that figure of plus 120. Give it to me.
There you go.
All right.
That is Bet the Board here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The Dotem Golf Tournament is going on right now, so don't matter. Hope everybody's having fun. See this? See the copy? It says 528. It's 529, which means I don't have to read it anymore.
It's going on right now, and it's sold out tomorrow, so enjoy.
Have fun.
Have a great time.
Have fun with your foursome.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Look, it's right there for me. I didn't throw it away last night. This is what happens.
This feels like a Freedom Friday.
We got that tomorrow, baby.
Man.
That's Jamie Rivers. And speaking of Jamie, he is really concerned about one aspect of Brendan Donovan's future. I'll tell you what that is next on 101 ESPN.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company.
Anthony, there are several signs out there. The signs are all around us when we're low on testosterone. And as 30, 40, 50-something-year-old man, 60, but testosterone doesn't pick and choose. It just happens. And you've got low energy that can creep in on you, fatigue, weight gain, lack of focus, clarity, low libido, which nobody wants that, Anthony. No, get out of here with that. Get into Mentality. They've got 2 awesome locations, and they sit down with you, very comfortable environment, and they talk to you and ask you about some of these things that might be happening, and then they draw blood, and they come up with a program for you that works. But that's not where it ends, Anthony. It's not, because we're always changing. Bodies keep changing. I just went through a phase where I was still getting tired again. We're trying to figure it out. So they took my blood again, figured out a couple more things, changed my program accordingly, and I feel great now. And that's all because of Mentality.
Yeah, our bodies change, so then that way they have to change as well. Mentality, they're a local healthcare facility. They specialize in helping men feel and perform at their very best. I just went to Mentality right before I came in. I had shot you a text. Hey, heading into Mentality right now. They're great. I go to South County location. Jamie goes to the one in Chesterfield. Same people, though. Same great people. So it doesn't really matter which staff you talk to. They're going to help you get back on track. So when it comes to Mentality, all of a sudden your energy comes roaring back. The belly fat burns off. The muscle strengthens. You get in the gym. You feel great. That's what it's all about. Feeling great. Feeling young again. So visit Mentality, one of the 2 locations. And when you do go in there, tell them that Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. But if you want to do a little more research online, go for it. MentalityHealth.com/radio. Find out more information before you head down there. But jump on the program. It works. Trust Jamie and I. It's Mentality.
WXOS HD1 East St. Louis 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. 2 pros and 1 average show. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
Man, I mean, he's different, dog. I mean, every night he's playing hard, you know, hitting every single night it feels like. And, you know, today was just another example of why he's the best second baseman in the game right now.
All right, so that was Mason Wynn last night on FanDuel Sports Network. He was talking about Brendan Donovan. Brendan Donovan continues to assault pitchers around Major League Baseball to the point where several police reports have already been filed. Brendan Donovan now up to 335 on the year, 395 OBP, and a 481 slug. He is having his best season to date. I wouldn't call it a breakout because I think he already had his breakout, but he's having his best season. There's no doubt about it. But Jamie, you read a tweet today, and you started to panic a little bit about Brendan Donovan's future, at least with a Cardinals uniform.
Yeah, so it got me thinking that the future here in St. Louis may not consist of Brendan Donovan being a long-term player here. Oh, I know it's horrible, Carey. So the whole be patient thing, right? Like, we've made fun of it with T-shirts. Everybody, I'm sick of the be patient. I'm sick of the be patient. That might rear its ugly head here on the Cardinals. And another thing that might rear its ugly head is they took Brendan Donovan to arbitration, which I know is part of the process, but you know how those go. They make you sound like you're the worst baseball player ever to wear a Cardinals uniform, and the Cardinals won their arb over Donovan. this year. So Brendan Donovan, true professional, he's going out there playing his best ball. He's playing the best ball of his career right now. But what does that look like now? Because next year, there's still arbitration here for the Cardinals. Donovan's 38. His 29 and 30-year-old seasons are ARB 2, ARB 3.
28.
What's that?
You said 38.
Oh, sorry, 28. And next year's 29 and 30. But he's got ARB 2 and ARB 3, which means that's going to keep going up. But there's going to be arbitration each single time.
Yeah.
So then he's a UFA. Like, I'm worried that the Cardinals have wasted their time here, waited so long, and maybe pissed him off to where he says, no, I'll go through the next 2 ARBs. No problem. Yeah. But then I'm out. Mm-hmm. I'm out. I feel like the Cardinals probably, instead of fighting with him in arbitration this offseason, and we said it on this show, like, you know what you're getting in Brendan Donovan. One, you're getting a player that plays multiple positions at a Gold Glove or near Gold Glove caliber. He's been a utility Gold Glove winner. And now you're seeing him really thrive where he's back where he wants to be at second base. He's part of the best defense in baseball. I would have locked him up. And the price tag would have probably been pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Now what's it going to look like?
So, I don't know how you think about this, because I haven't. Jamie forces. He says things in the office, and then he says, "Save it,"
right.
Like in a way that I'm like, okay,
all right.
And then he walked up behind me and did this thing, and I was like, oh God, he slit my throat.
Same thing.
Walked up while I was sitting in my chair, and I was like, oh,
yeah, he's a sicko.
I said, save it. I said, okay. And so
it's just a warning check here.
Clearly, it's twice now. Yours is coming.
Promise?
I promise. So I understand all of that, and I will be honest, because I was listening to BK and Ferrario earlier when we were coming in, and they were talking about this as well. I don't know that the Cardinals, Brendan Donovan is having a great year. I mean, it's been outstanding. He's probably on pace to be an all-star this year. I think he's doing a fantastic job. With that being said, I don't know that they view him as a player for a 4 or 5 year contract, because you got players that you drafted, you got players that you brought in. Sajasi is a second baseman. Weatherholt can play second base. Like, you have guys in the pipeline that you don't necessarily need to lock yourself into a guy that's going to end his contract at 33, 34 years old, depending on how many years you give him, and say, we're trusting you to play at this level for the next 3 to 5 years. This season could be an outlier. It's been outstanding. But
he's been ascending, though, over the last 2 or 3 years.
But this season is vastly better than what we've seen from him in the past. I don't know that you lock him up and say, yeah, we're leaning on you for the next 5 years to be our second baseman. And as while we're doing that, we're blocking Weatherholt, we're blocking Sajasi. Yeah. We got a glimpse of Sajasi earlier this year. We know he can hit the damn ball, and so it's something to look forward to as well. I don't know that they view him in that manner. And the Cardinals could say, what you just said, I'll go to arbitration. They go, okay, cool. We'll see you there. Mm-hmm. And then next year, I'll see you there. And then the following year, well, I'm leaving. Okay. We appreciate your services, sir. And so I don't know that the Cardinals are pressed in that manner to be, in the need to actually sign him to an extension at this point.
Yeah, so my problem with all of that, and I see your point. I do. My problem with all of that, though, is that Brendan Donovan's not going to break the bank on you. He's not. He's going to get paid accordingly, but he's proven. He's proven as a Gold Glove utility player, probably a Gold Glove second baseman if things continue the way they go right now. You don't know what you've got in Sajasi and Weatherholt. Like, you just don't. And the Cardinal way of doing it would be just like you said. Well, we're not gonna pay Donovan and give him 4 or 5 years because we have these guys. And then when you get to that point, those guys aren't Brendan Donovan, and we're doing the same thing over and over again. Brendan Donovan's also emerged over the last couple of years as a clubhouse leader for that team. And again, for me, if I'm Chaim Bloom, not John Mozeliak, because he's not going to be a part of this. If I'm Chaim Bloom, I'm identifying that I need to pay this player and give him the 4 or 5 years. Take him to
How
that
much?
spot. I don't know, Carey. The point for me...
The reason I'm asking, because Tommy Edman is getting $14 million a year.
Okay, great, there.
You want to pay Brendan Donovan $14 million?
Who's playing better this year?
I'm asking.
Who's playing better?
no one's playing better on this team this year. But do you want to?
Is Donovan having a better season?
Yeah, I said nobody is playing better than him this year. He for this team.
But he's having a better season than Edmund too.
Oh, you mean in comparison to Tommy Edmund? Okay, yeah, sure.
So let's say it's a gap of 13 to 15 million for Donovan. I'm okay with that. You're paying Miles Mikolas 17 or 18 million, and you're praying every time he touches the bump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd gladly give the money to something. It's a known commodity for me.
You break the tie break. You break this tie. What do you say? What say you?
So what's your official? I know Jamie's. What's your official statement?
Give him an extension. I would say if I'm the Cardinals, I don't feel pressed to do that.
Yeah.
I don't feel because you got 2 years. You said 2 years of arbitration left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
And do I have to go in there and tell you how terrible you are and why you don't deserve $7 million or $8 million next year? I do. And I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do it for the year after that as well. And is it right? Probably not, but it's business, and I know that I have people.
That's the way Cardinals have done it for so long.
But I drafted players.
You drafted Donovan, too.
Yeah. And he's going to be, by the time his arbitration is done, he's going to be, what, 31, 32?
Yeah. So if you look,
and J.J. Weatherholt is going to be, what, 22?
I know, but he's not proven, Carey.
But I drafted him, and I have to plan and put him in a place that I assume that he's going to be to that level.
Ultimately, they probably should have extended him when they traded Tommy Edman, because they traded Tommy Edman because they had Brendan Donovan. I also think, to CD's point, the Cardinals have more leverage than what we assume.
Correct.
I saw the tweet. Jamie, you shared the tweet with us from the person. It's like, now Brendan Donovan's past his, the Cardinals are past their puke point when it comes to his contract, right? We're assuming a lot. We're assuming that Donovan continues to be on this tear. We're assuming that the Cardinals don't mind going to arbitration for the next 2 years. We're also assuming that Donovan doesn't say that he doesn't jump at a contract of like 4 years, $70 million, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a ton. That's about 14 mil, right? 14 mil a year. Maybe he accepts a little less. It's 4 for 65.
I was thinking 5 for 65.
5 for 65.
Somewhere in there. 5 for 65. 65 to 80 would be my max. But 5 years, that way the AAV is not as high.
Sure.
But again, when you do 4 or 5 years, you know that by the time that contract is up, either you're going to be eating the last 2 years like you are with Miles Mikolas, because you got a younger player who is ready to take the place of a guy that's 33, 34 years old in J.J. Weatherholt or Thomas or J.C. You got those guys there. So either way, you're going to be, the last 2 years of that contract, you're going to be in the same situation that you just complained about with Miles.
You don't know that.
I'm not
Just
assuming.
Like we don't know whether Holt or Sajasi can do the job.
I'm not assuming that those two guys will be. If you are developing, if you
the back half of Donnie's contract are going to be bad.
I have to. No, I'm not. I'm not assuming that they're going to be bad.
You compared to Mikolas.
Okay, I did say that.
I'm sorry.
In a roundabout way.
It's your words, not mine.
What I'm saying is you're blocking a younger player from having an opportunity.
If you're an all-star like Donovan?
You think he's going to? Yeah, come on, man. I don't know that he's going to be an all-star for the next 4 or 5 years. I don't.
But we don't know that he's not.
But I don't know that he is. And
before
my point
he becomes an all-star this year, before that happens,
my point is,
get ahead of the market.
You draft and develop players to be able to be the next person in line when that older player or that player's contract runs out. That's why you drafted J.J. Weatherholt in the position that you did, with the expectation that at some point he's going to be in that position. You didn't draft him to say, all right, well, hell, I'm going to sign this guy to a 5-year deal.
Carey, he's not
and when you're 26, then maybe you'll get a chance.
He's not blocking anybody.
Not now.
Even
but
then
again,
he won't be.
Same
because
thing.
He plays so many positions, you can move him around the diamond.
Where are you going to play him at?
Wherever the hell I want. It's Brendan Donovan.
Him to be a second baseman.
No, I said he's playing his best at second base.
I don't. He
plays shortstop. He plays third base. He plays left field, right field.
So now you got a utility guy that you're paying $14 million a year to.
I'm getting your two budding all-stars into the lineup.
But you're saying now you're paying a utility guy to $14, $15 million to play 3 out of the 5 games a week. 3 out of 6 games a week.
I'm saying you could move him to one other position.
That's utility. You just said he could play left field, shortstop,
Is
third
Mookie
base.
Betts a utility player?
Mookie Betts is completely different.
Is he a utility player?
Hell
because
no.
based upon your definition of it, Because he plays a different
Mookie
position
Betts
now.
No.
That's what you just said.
Mookie Betts going to be in the lineup every day come hell or high water.
So is Brendan Donovan.
Now, today. And we're talking about in 2, 3, 5 years.
You're moving it over here for a second. You said because Brendan Donovan plays more than one position, he's a utility player.
You said you can put him in different places, which makes him a utility player. No.
Who's a utility player?
He's a unicorn, and both start with a U.
How much are they paying Mookie Betts to be a utility player?
Mookie Betts gets paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, so let's settle this. Do you think, Jamie, because this all started because you were concerned that the Cardinals...
I just think they always drag their feet. And this, to me, this is a foundation player. It's a foundation player. Like, he's part of what's going right now for the Cardinals. He's a big part of it.
I think that he gets a contract extension at the end of the year.
I hope so.
Do you think so?
I want him to, yeah. I don't see the Cardinals being dumb enough to go back to arbitration again.
Okay.
Let's lock him up for 4 years or whatever it is.
Do you think they sign him?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that they feel pressed to. Especially if you got 2 more years of arbitration. Why would I feel like I have to do that? I mean, is it the right thing to do? Yes. Is it the thing? But this is business. It's not personal. It's not always a feel-good thing or feel-good story. Would it be nice for him to get that? 100%. But is it something that they have to do in this moment? No.
Yeah. So, I think they will.
Mookie Betts, by the way, is making between $22 and $25 million this year while playing an elite shortstop.
Good money for a utility guy.
Wow. All right. It's a fast lane on 101 at ESPN.
What the hell are we talking about?
We got Blues cues coming up at the bottom of the hour. So if you have any Blues-related questions, 314-399-9646 the Air Comfort Service text line. Get those Blues cues in. You heard Jamie and Carey going back and forth on this topic. If you want to chime in, you can. Leave us a mic drop via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Again, leave us a mic drop on this subject. If you think that Donovan will get his money, should get his money, when does that happen? Carey would kick the can down the road a little bit because you have the 2 years of arbitration, but what says you? You can chime in at any point. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Odds are released. They're out. Who do we think is going to win it? That's next on 101 ESPN.
We want to hear from you. Use the Scott Lee Mic Drop feature on the 101 mobile app. Give us your opinion on anything St. Louis sports with a mic drop.
Brought to you by the Scott Lee Heating Company.
Anthony, there's 2 words out there that can be very scary to people who are looking to maybe purchase a home or even get a credit card or anything like that. You know what those 2 words are, Anthony?
Credit card?
Credit score.
Oh,
credit
close.
score. We got Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation on the line with us right now. Stewie, talk to us about those 2 crazy words, credit score.
Well, guys, what you have to realize, number one, is what you see on Credit Karma or Discover Card, that is not your mortgage credit score. There's over 400 different versions of TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, and depending on the type of company that pulls the score, that's going to give you this different type of score. So a mortgage company, different than a credit card company, different than a car company. We had a listener come in and said, hey, my credit score is 620. I thought I couldn't buy a house. We pulled their mortgage credit score, 715. We had somebody said, hey, Credit Karma says I got a 780 credit score. We pulled their score, 625. So you don't know your mortgage score until you have a mortgage company approve it. But if you come to us and you have a poor score What we can do is give you the tools to increase your score. And we just closed an ESPN listener. 6 months ago, they came in with a 585 credit score. They closed today with a 710 credit score because we told them what to do to get it up there, and they followed it, and now they got the house of their dreams.
See, but they started, that couple right there, they started by calling Stewie on his personal cell phone number. He hands out his personal cell phone number. Why? He wants to help you. He wants to help you get your home of your dreams or consolidate debt or improve your credit score like you just said. Pick up the phone, call 314-324-4440.
Again, that number's 314-324-4440.
Or you can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great night, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN has your shot to score a pair of passes to the 4th annual Bourbon and Brews Festival, hosted by the St. Louis Bourbon Society, next Saturday, June 7th in St. Charles. Taste the best with over 400 samples of bourbons, whiskey, cocktails, and beer, plus live music, food trucks, and more. Find more details and enter to win free passes for this year's Bourbon and Brews Festival right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Strap yourself in. You're in the fast lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. The NFL Comeback Player of the Year odds are out. Which player will have the biggest impact for his team this season and while also winning said award? Carey, I know that you wanted to dive into this. Was there a specific player, when you look at these odds, that you thought would not only take home the award, but just, again, have a huge impact on his team this season?
For me, it wasn't so much about winning the award in terms of being the comeback player, but how much getting that specific player back on your team impacts a team that could possibly win a championship. And so I looked at the odds. Dak Prescott is plus 270, Aiden Hutchinson's plus 300. Christian McCaffrey plus 370. J.J. McCarthy, who didn't play at all,
What?
is plus 850.
Is that breakout or comeback?
Comeback. He didn't play. I don't know. And then Rasheed Rice is
he's
plus
coming back from injury, but what is he coming back?
He never played. I don't know how that implies. But either way,
all right.
The two names that stuck out to me the most were Jamie's guy and his team, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
Because what they lost, and they didn't just lose him. They had so many injuries on that defensive line, but he was the catalyst. He's the guy. He's the one that, teams have to game plan and scout and make sure that they are prepared to block him. And if you don't, you can have a long day. So his name, and then the other one is probably going to surprise you, Rasheed Rice for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's the guy that Patrick Mahomes hurt.
He did. He ran into him.
He did,
ran into his leg or whatever, into his lower body. But it was, for me, Rasheed Rice being healthy on that Kansas City team, I think it changes things for them in terms of the passing game. We saw Travis Kelce. He slowed down a lot. Like he's kind of changed in what he's capable of doing. Mm-hmm. If you can line up Rasheed Rice in that slot and impact over the middle of the field and do some of the things that Kelce can do or has done opposite of him, now it alleviates some of the pressure from Kelce. You can't have all the attention focused on him. You got two guys in that slot that are dangerous when they catch the ball and find ways to get open. Rasheed Rice might actually be the one ahead of Aiden Hutchinson because he's with the best player in the world.
I think from a real football standpoint, I think you're right. I just don't know if he'll garner enough attention to potentially win the award. And I know what you're talking about. You're just saying, hey, which players could have the biggest impact. Also adding to it, Xavier Worthy winds up going back into kind of the role that Andy Reid envisioned him, which is like,
people.
hey, yeah, you run past people.
Be on the outside. Run fast, man.
We'll figure out how to get you the ball.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. I think the biggest impact, though, would be Christian McCaffrey. If he's healthy.
Yeah. That's always a question.
If he's healthy, I think he's a runaway.
But is he really a comeback player?
Yeah, because
I know he's injured every year.
Last season, he missed a ton of games last year.
He missed like 10 games, 10 games.
Yeah. And they didn't even know if he'd come back, period.
I think the reason why I wouldn't put Christian McCaffrey, because I think that offense is going to be changed. I don't know what Brandon Ayuk is going to look like. Deebo Samuel is not there. Like losing, and Brandon Ayuk got injured towards ACL. I don't know how well he's moving around, and not having Deebo Samuel on that roster, for me, it just changes their offense.
Even more reason they lean on McCaffrey.
But what happens now, and you know this, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be looking. They have less people to look at. Yeah. Now they got a couple of people to focus on as opposed to 3, 4, 5 different guys. And now we got Christian's getting the ball.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why Saquon had such a great season last year, because you can't focus on Saquon and leave A.J. Brown by himself. Devontae Smith, you can't leave them by themselves.
Right.
So it makes it easier. It alleviates some of the pressure from the running back. I think the pressure is going to be added on to Christian McCaffrey without Deebo Samuel on that roster and without Brandon Ayuk being completely healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Honest question here. And, Carey, I don't know if it played whatsoever into your rationale, but is Rice ever going to be suspended? Honest question. What do we know about this? It has been over a year.
I don't think so, if we're being honest. I don't think he will be.
Whatever's happened, they've made it disappear.
Yeah. I don't think so. It is hung up. That's the best answer I can give you.
Apparently, it is hung up in the state of Texas, but with some of the legislation there, it's incredibly confusing. And also, when you take his status as a star player, as an elite performer in that offense, in the way in which you want to get everybody set up from a continuity standpoint, OTAs, minicamp, off-season workouts and whatnot, to have this hanging but yet not hanging, this cloud, it's really perplexing to me that we haven't heard anything else.
I think they're just going to go about business as usual. If something happens, it happens. But if he's not suspended, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, who doesn't have to do as much, and Rashee Rice, that to me is a team that is going to be scary offensively.
See, I got Hutch as the comeback player in this one just because of the sheer impact he can have on that Lions defensive core. Like, the Lions still rattled off a really good season, but had they had Aiden Hutchinson, in some of those bigger games, especially in the playoffs, putting that pressure on the quarterback the way he can, disrupting offenses who have to focus on him. I think what you're saying is a possibility too.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm disagreeing because the way you presented it, it makes sense.
Right.
I just look at the one player here in Aiden Hutchinson and what he brings to the table for the Lions. And if he gets back this year and has a season like he's supposed to have, to me, he'll be the comeback player.
Guys, I think we overlooked Dak Prescott.
I didn't overlook him.
I looked right at him.
I looked right at him and kept going. I said his name. I said he's number one on the list. He's had the best odds.
I like Dak, but he's screwed.
I think Dak is a good guy, man. I think Dak is a really good person. And I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know if he moves the needle for that team to be a championship team. Just my opinion on it.
You got weapons on the outside.
You do.
Got a really good tight
Who's running
ends.
the ball for them?
Me.
Okay.
Jaden Blue.
Oh, yeah, the Texas kid.
Texas,
Your boy, Blue. He's a rookie. No.
Hey, he could make an impact. That old line's good. Ish.
I'm okay. They did sign Javonte Williams from Denver.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He had a really good rookie year and got injured. Yeah,
he's fast lane fine.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
He's totally fast lane.
You know what I mean? He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, you can send in your mic drops on the Brendan Donovan topic. We kind of ignited, Jamie and Carey ignited the text line. People are split. Leave us a mic drop. What do you think? You think the Cardinals kind of waited too long to sign him? Would you sign him? Would you wait this thing out because he is having a great year? Do you think the Cardinals have more leverage than what might be being discussed? Leave us a mic drop on that. Blues Cues are next, though. We got NHL postseason edition of the Blues Cues. Send in your Blues-related questions to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. We'll answer them next.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
Want to hear from you? Text us at 314-399-9646 on the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation text line on 101 ESPN. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Redbirds get a breather pre-Rangers. I'm Bradford Bruns. Your Sports Center update is presented by Saliga Heating and Cooling. After yesterday's 6-4 win over Baltimore, the Cardinals are idle before beginning their weekend set in Texas. Matthew Liberatore will start set opener against Jack Leiter. STL sits at 13-16 away from Busch Stadium. Minutes ago, Philadelphia defeating Atlanta 5-4. Tonight, 101 ESPN carries Oilers Stars Game 5 as Dallas faces elimination. Likewise, New York could be closed out by Indiana on that hard court. The Sports Center update was brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling. Now, it's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers alongside Anthony Stalter, Carey Davis, and Bradford Bruns. Time for Blues Cues. Bradford, what do we got?
Jamie, this one is a bit down the line, but in the event of another NHL expansion draft, who could be lost from the note?
Yeah, well, it depends how many years from now it is. Because
let's put a number on it. Let's say 2 years. I'm setting it.
Man, that's tough. I'd have to see the list of who qualifies, who doesn't, because games played comes into it and things like that. How about let's kick the can down the road on that one? It's honestly too hard to answer right now because you'd have expiring contracts too. Braden Schen's contract. Well, Leddy and Falk would be gone, so you'd have to worry about protecting those guys. You'd definitely protect Broberg, Parayko, but who knows if we have Fowler. Just too many hypotheticals.
I think Mongo also wants to put you in a compromising position here.
Right.
Don't read too far into that. But he says out of all the St. Louisans in the league, who's the individual you would covet the most on your team? Your team.
St. Louisans?
Yes.
Matthew Tkachuk.
Well, you guys got a brother, too.
Yes, he does. Would be outstanding.
Yeah, I don't, honestly.
Say it.
Tkachuk.
Nope.
Well, they're different, though.
I know they're different.
But they're brothers.
Different human beings.
Yeah.
But you got to choose one.
You know what? I'll go with Brady Tkachuk.
Because I chose Matthew.
No, because he's younger.
Oh.
He's 2 years younger.
Okay.
So, why not? Play on the age thing.
Okay.
And he's...
Oh, you don't like old people?
Oh, Snapdragon.
And he's a tougher player, bigger physically, net front presence. Right now, you have Oscar Sundqvist net front on the power play. If you had Brady Tkachuk, that power play looks a little different. And he might cave in the side of your face with a punch. So I'll go with Brady.
Boy, aren't you smart.
I can't lose that one.
From the 618, Colton Parayko's tremendous play from last season aside, is there a scenario, Jamie, in which next couple of years you can maybe envision the Blues going out when they're going for it and acquiring a true number one on the blue line? Another one.
I don't know if you need to. Like, if you re-up Cam Fowler and you have Colton Parayko and a couple of years from now, the ceiling on Philip Broberg, like, I just don't think you need to go spend like $12 million on like a Cale Makar. Like, if you had the money and Cale Makar wanted to come here, then yeah, but it's not like I'm going to go searching for that when I've got, arguably three of the best defensemen in the league.
From the 636, there's a lot of conversation at this point in time about Carolina maybe shaking things up, but how do you view the Oilers championship window over the next couple of years?
Yeah, they're in win now mode, which is why we have Holloway and Broberg on our team, because their ownership and management felt like that team was built to win now, and they weren't going to wait for the development of Holloway and Broberg. They're obviously wrong, but they're obviously right at the same time, because they're on the verge of finding themselves back in the Stanley Cup final once again. Do I think they would have been in that spot had they kept Holloway and Broberg? Yeah, probably same spot, because they were on that team last year when they went to the Stanley Cup final, and they weren't nearly as good as they were this season. But that being considered, would Holloway and Broberg have gotten the ice time that they got here? Would the development have happened the way it happened this year? All of these are big question marks. But the Oilers are in win now mode because Connor McDavid, anything's possible in the NHL, but his contract is up after next season. So if you don't capitalize and win a Stanley Cup this year or at the latest next year, and the possibility of him being gone, then you're screwed.
More from the 636 pertaining to one of those former Oilers next season coming off of the injury. What's a realistic number as far as points go for one Dylan Holloway?
I think realistic is 70 to 75 points, 35 to 40 goals, somewhere in there. What did he have this year? 33 goals, I think, is what he had. I'll double check really quick here because, I don't want to mislead people by any means.
26.
Is he at 26?
Yep.
All right. Easily another 10 goals for that guy. Easily. So I'd say 35 goals, 75 points.
A couple more here from the 314. Next season, at this point in time, as we sit late in May, who is more viable, who's more likely to be on this team, bottom two lines? Radek Faksa or Oscar Sundqvist?
Oh, boy. Well, Radek Faksa doesn't have a contract right now, so it would be easy to say Oscar Sundqvist. But I think Radek really enjoyed his time here, and I know the Blues really enjoyed him on that identity line. I think long-term, and I hate to say it, and I love this guy to death, but I think long-term the play is for Radek Faksa. I think that he solidified himself not as a more valuable player, but he solidified himself on that identity line that just the chemistry for those three guys was undeniable. And Jim Montgomery showed a tremendous amount of confidence in that line. And not that Sonny can't do that, but we have to get into the health a little bit. Sonny will be a year older. He did have some injury things this year, a little bit here and there. He's had some big issues in the past. What does that look like moving forward? So I'd have to say Radek Faksa.
And last one for you, Jamie. Spanning the National Hockey League, Connor Hellebuck, our old friend in St. Louis, likely to win another Vezina trophy. But next season, who is your next Vezina winner? Who's next in line?
Wow.
Jordan Bennington.
I would love that, Carey. I like where your head's at. Okay.
Let's make it happen. JB, call me.
JB. The way you said that. Call me with some attitude in it.
Feels like LB3 and you.
Serious. It's tough to say who. Like Connor Hellebuck is probably going to have another great regular season, and you just wonder about where that'll lead him to. Tampa Vasilevsky's got to be in the conversation. You've got the Rangers. Where is Shesterkin next year? Thank you. With a new head coach and probably a better defensive scheme. Jeremy Swayman in Boston. Ullmark in Ottawa. All these guys have the potential of being really, really good goaltenders. So it's probably going to be your usual suspects: Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, and maybe Ullmark or something like that next year in the top three.
All right, there you have it. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, our guy Bradford Bruns filling in for Andrew Marsh. Rob Cerfolio has been quiet force behind the scenes there for the Cardinals this season. But there is one connection between Rob Cerfolio, the assistant GM now, and the Blues. And we'll explain that next on 101 ESPN.
What?
The Stanley Cup playoffs are on ESPN tonight. Stars and Oilers. Pregame at 6:30. Puck drop at 7. Your home for the NHL. 101 ESPN. is The Fast Lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
Some of those values that were non-negotiables for me of being a people-first organization, but also like wanting to be on the cutting edge and do things at a way that kind of helps pace the industry that's what I want to be known as. That's a group that I want to work with. And obviously, having had a chance to interview with Chaim before when he was over in Boston, I knew him a little bit and just really enjoyed the people that I interacted with during that week or 10-day period where I was kind of going through the interview process.
That is Rob Cerfolio, the assistant general manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, and that was on Dealin' the Cards, a podcast in which Cerfolio recently joined. One of the things, Jamie, and I'll give you credit on this, it's something that you have echoed along with a lot of the Cardinals fans. The Cardinals being transparent, those two words, the Cardinals and transparency have not been simpatico. Right, those two things have not been linked.
No,
it's unlike the Blues, where the Blues you get ultimate transparency within reason, of course.
Yeah, we didn't know about Holloway's injury. We figured that out.
Like I said, within reason, of course.
I guess that's an NHL thing, though. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you.
What have you done? Are you done, Carey?
Entire culture.
Lower body. Be
did I not say within reason?
Shin, hip. Come on. Tell me something.
What do you care?
I just like to know.
Why?
What the hell is word?
Why is it your business?
It's all our business.
Why?
Because I want to know what the hell.
Why do the Blues owe you that?
They owe because I am a fan.
What does that have to do with
injuries? They owe me.
I went to a game once.
One time.
The player could either play.
I pay their salaries.
Or he couldn't.
Why isn't he playing?
Did you lose sleep over it?
I did.
Really?
I mean, 10 fans were texting in talking about what the hell's wrong with him.
He can't play.
How do you pray for somebody if you don't know what you're praying for?
Man.
Oh, don't you dare.
Huh? You pray.
Don't you dare do that.
I'm praying. Praying for a knee?
Do you pray for a shoulder, a knee, a hip?
The prayers go
for
directly to that
Dylan
body
Holloway.
part. Yeah,
I pray that he gets better soon.
Yeah. What am I praying for? Is it a knee? Is it an ankle? A foot?
You know what, Carey? I'm going to pray for you.
God already knows that. He already knows if it's an ankle or a knee.
He doesn't. He knows.
You don't need to specify with him.
You got to be direct in your prayers, Anthony. Otherwise,
no, you don't.
Anything could happen.
God already knows what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's not.
God has stayed out of that brain for a long time, I assume. Anyways, within reason, the Blues have been transparent with their fan base. Here's why we're doing things. Here's our expectations. Here's the standard. Boom, right there. Cardinals, not so much. They one time did not have a press conference, end of the season press conference, because they're like, we pretty much told you what you needed to know. Stick it, is what the Cardinals said. Are we starting to see more transparency now with the Cardinals? Do you feel? With guys like Rob Cerfolio?
Well, it started last offseason, or the past one before the season started, where John Mozeliak and the crew actually opened up a little bit to discuss their the transformation or the transition to the younger players, whatnot. That was the first time. And I just don't understand. I don't understand why the Cardinals were reluctant before that, because we're not asking for specifics on how a pitcher's going to throw in a day or your strategy when it comes to playing against Paul Skeens. We're not asking for that. We're just give us an update on where the organization's headed, especially in times of losing. That's when your fan base needs to be educated the most as to what your plans are, so that it doesn't seem like nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, good point.
And so I do feel that now. I feel like Ollie has been more forthcoming this season as well. You listen to some of his pressers and things like that. Like last year, Ollie got a little standoffish. He got back and forth, didn't like to be asked certain questions about certain things. This year, getting ahead of it, sometimes even talking about what he was thinking in certain moments. And I actually don't feel like Ollie needs to do that. Because, again, it goes back to my comment, too. Like, it's none of our business. We don't need to know that, but it's good. it's good to let the fan base know and the media know what your thoughts were in certain moments or why you did certain things. Because the moment there's a situation that happens that could have different ideas to it, strategies, we're automatically questioning the coach and the manager immediately. We are. But then when we hear from them about what they were thinking, okay, I could see why he did. Then you research the numbers. Oh, yeah, it kind of made sense. You know, I didn't really like it. It's still not true, but now I know why he did that. So, yeah, I feel like the Cardinals are being more transparent in the right ways to where you're informing your fan base as to what your plans are. And you know what really helps? They're winning.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
winning baseball.
That makes life easier.
You can tell the fan base anything when you're winning. It's like, oh yeah, we eat spaghetti on Tuesdays now. So boys, it has worked out. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. And fan base is like, I'm going to start eating spaghetti on Tuesdays now.
Yeah. I want to be a winner.
I want to be a winner too. Like, really, seriously, it doesn't matter.
It does work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have been more transparent. I think, but I think the key component to all of this, like you said, is winning.
Yeah,
like you can, if you're winning, people will tolerate more. Like it's more things are acceptable when you're winning. When you're losing, they're like, yeah,
nothing's acceptable.
Nothing you say, I want to hear. I don't care. It's not good enough. Make it better. And now it has become better. And so fans are engaged. They're listening. They're paying attention. They're starting to show up. They're going to, at some point, if they keep winning, they're going to fill that place up. They're going to fill Busch Stadium up again. Yeah. But you have to keep winning. That's the key component for all of this.
When the team is losing, it is basically Rob Riggle and Will Ferrell in Step Brothers at the Canalino wine mixer, where Rob Riggle is just looking at him saying, I want to punch you in the face. And Will Ferrell's like, is there anything I can do about it? He goes, nope, it's your face. I really want to punch you. I just want to punch you. Like, that's how it is. Your team's losing, and it doesn't really matter what's coming out of their mouths. You just want to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
But, Jamie, ultimately, you're right in that this started in the offseason. One of the things that, as we talk about the MLB trade deadline and how the Cardinals are going to approach it, one thing the Cardinals have been steadfast in is we are now going through our drafting development. Like, that's how we're going to win. We're going back to our roots. It is going to be through young players. So if the Cardinals don't make a big move at the trade deadline, more so next offseason, we've had those discussions too. Hey, do you guys think, Cardinals are ahead of things now? Think they're going to sign somebody? Nope, I don't. No.
They have everything they need.
Told you that. But they have told you.
At least we know.
We're not going through free agency in order to boost this team. That doesn't mean they're not going to sign anybody. It just means don't expect the $250 million starting pitcher. They're not going that route. And for anybody to complain about it, that's on you. They have told us we're now doing it this way. And they've even given out some models. Cleveland, Tampa. And when people have pushed back and say, well, those two teams haven't won anything, understand that the Cardinals aren't going to go full Tampa or full Cleveland. No. If they have a young player like a Mason Wynn or Victor Scott and they continue to develop, I think that's where their money's going to be allocated. It will not be. Carey. No, not for Carey.
What was the word you said before player?
Allocated?
No. If they have a blank player.
If they have a player like Mason Wynn.
They have a... What type of player like Mason Wynn?
A great one.
Okay.
A shortstop?
No.
He's got to lead off.
Not old, but
young.
There you go.
He did all that for that?
Yeah. That's the key. That's the key word.
That's a lot. The kids would call that an air ball.
Not old, but young. If they have a young player, you know,
air
ball.
I think allocated was the right.
Allocated was the word that he was looking for.
Of course. Yeah.
That's not the word I didn't focus on that one.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah. I'm good with the allocation of money, of funds, to what type of players, Anthony?
Young.
There you go.
Felt great to say it.
They don't have to be good, just young.
Young.
No, he said another word before young.
Good.
There you go.
Good.
You're asking us a lot.
I'm asking you to listen. I'm sorry. Damn it.
I was listening to Anthony until you interrupted him.
You weren't.
I was listening to Anthony until you interrupted him. With your quiz.
You didn't know it was going to be a test today, huh?
I didn't. Good young players.
Anthony, the worst part is Anthony had that look on his face.
I'm like, which word?
Like when the teacher asks you a question you're not following.
Oh, 100%.
Anthony's heart rate went up because he had no idea what you were looking for.
Yeah.
Did you have flashbacks?
Oh, totally. I was suddenly in the second grade again when you're popcorning around with the book.
Wet your pants again. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, where the teacher's like, all right, you've got the next paragraph, Anthony. I'm like, shh. Yeah, no. Here's the thing about this. You just start reading. Nope, we already did that one. Nope.
Yeah,
you know
I just want to do it again, though.
Why don't you listen now and find out what page we're on? Because you're not even. Is that even the right book, Anthony?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do need. Do we need a gauntlet? Yes, we do need a new gauntlet contestants to play. Coming up next, 314-399.
Have him rattled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm shaking. I'm shaking right now. Take two. I'm now an adult.
My apologies.
You're an adult.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault, and you're complete.
Yes.
Oh, just be you.
Just be you.
We got the gauntlet coming up next, but we do need a new contestant. 314-399-9646. If you want to play in the gauntlet, that's the Air Comfort Service text line. Gauntlet next.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you are in the market for a new car, look no further. Genesis of St. Charles has you covered. They are Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership. Stop in today for exclusive in-store offers. They have a large selection of new Genesis models in stock, ready for you to take home today. You can experience the luxury service at their brand new facility located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters, right off of Mid Rivers Mall Drive and Highway 70. Let Genesis of St. Charles introduce you to the sweet life of benefits designed to exceed your expectations. If you don't see the model you want, you don't see the color you want, they can help you find it and help you build your dream, Genesis. And if you have a busy schedule, maybe you're one of those people that don't like to go into stores, you got things to do, you don't have time, you don't have to. You don't ever have to step a foot into their store. You can buy your Genesis entirely online with clear upfront pricing, including your trade-in, and even have it delivered up to 100 miles from the dealership. Genesis owners get complimentary scheduled maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. If you're in the market for a new car, reach out to them today. Go see the facility or go online at genesisofstcharles.com. Again, that's genesisofstcharles.com.
WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis. 101 ESPN is driven by Auto Centers Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty and 30-day return. Two pros and one average show. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling. 4 warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's the best thing on ESPN. I'm sure that's weird to you. I'm laughing. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter. Let's try to act professional here, boys.
I start now.
Yeah, it's very true. Tom's on the line. What's up, Tom?
How's it going?
We're having a blast, man. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday here in St. Louis. Tom, would you like to take on Carey Davis? Who's coughing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Tom, would you like to take on Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, or me today in the Gauntlet?
Well, Anthony, I know you busted the slump yesterday, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take on Carey today.
Carey Davis.
Good luck, Tom.
Good luck, Carey.
Nice. I like Tom. Tom came right back and he's like, oh, yeah, thanks, me too. He just said, good luck, Carey. I like that. All right, Tom, Bradford Bruns is in for Andrew Marsh today. Go ahead and tell Bradford to spin that wheel.
Go, Bradford.
Tom, what are we hoping for, kid?
Baseball or random?
Baseball or random. I like Tom. He just said, you know what, this is what I want.
Oh, well.
Did the wheel respect Tom?
The wheel more than respected Tom and honored him with random.
Wow. All right, Tom, you're going to get 4 random questions today in the Gauntlet. Carey's going to get the same 4 random questions today. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the option. If you ask for the option, that question becomes worth 1 point. Are you ready? Thank you, Bradford.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, Tom, question 1. What is the name of the main villain in the Hellraiser movie franchise? What is the name of the main villain in the Hellraiser movie franchise?
I have absolutely no idea, so let's go with the option.
All right. Travis Bickle, Pinhead, or Randall Flagg?
Well, using the Stalter method, there's one outlier, and I would say that's Pinhead. So let's go with the Pinhead.
I love how the Stalter method is starting to catch on.
The problem is there's going to be kids in school doing that. They'll be like, well, Anthony Stalter says take the outlier. Meanwhile, it's like, here are 3 yellow items. Can you find it? It'd be like banana, and it'd be like something that's pencil, and then it'd be like hockey puck.
Right.
Kid, the outlier's hockey puck. It's got to be that one.
It's no longer ACT season. You're fine.
Thank you. Billy, you failed today. You don't know what a yellow item is? No, sir, I don't.
That's Stalter's fault.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question 2. Tom, here we go. On December 14th, 2007, who inked 400 people in a 24-hour period at her West Hollywood tattoo shop? So who tattooed 400 people in 24 hours in her West Hollywood tattoo shop?
Boy, so you guys really meant random today, huh?
You asked for it, buddy. Come
Bradford,
on.
did you do these?
You blame me, Tom. It's okay.
Let's go with the options again.
All right. Was it Kat Von D, Thomas Bennington, or Mark Mahoney?
Let's go with the first option, Kat.
Final answer?
Sure.
All right.
All right, Tom, let's see how you handle this one, sir. Question number 3. The top 3 Jelly Belly jelly bean flavors in America are licorice, buttered popcorn, and what else?
Buttered popcorn, jelly bean. Chicken, like not a big jelly bean guy. Thinking it's gonna be something like cherry. But let's get the options again.
Okay, they are berry blue, cotton candy, or very cherry.
Yeah, I guess I'll go see very cherry.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, Tom, last question. Who won last year's Indianapolis 500? So not this past weekend, but last year's Indy 500.
Options.
Joseph Newgarden, Dario Franchitti, or Helio Castroneves. Castroneves.
Samsonite.
Damn.
Well, I believe the second and third guys are kind of older racers. Not to say that they wouldn't have done well last year, but I'm going to go with A, again, because I've never heard of them. So, A, final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Carey Davis from the Conus Islands. Tom, how you feeling?
Well, with all due respect to Carey, I'm hoping my complete better guesses are better than his.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, Carey.
Hey, how it goes?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Having a good day?
Having a great
Ah, boy.
living my best
Proud of you.
life.
Look at you all grown up.
Thank you.
You got random.
Oh,
I was trying to put him in a good mood before you heard that.
Just can you say it again?
You have random.
All right, let's go. I was wondering. All right.
Alrighty.
It's completely random, isn't it?
It sure
Bradford,
is.
this is a Bradford special.
Oh, boy.
Put it on me. Again. Put it on me.
Pack your lunch, Carey.
Here we go. What is the name of the main villain in the Hellraiser movie franchise?
Oh, man.
What is the name of the main villain in the Hellraiser movie
Wish I'd
franchise?
have seen it. Options.
Oh, come on.
Travis Bickle, Pinhead, or Randall Flagg?
Pinhead is something. Oh, Randall Flagg sounds. Travis, who?
Bickle.
Pinhead?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I know Pinhead from. Initially, I wanted to go with A. Let's go with B. Pinhead. Final answer.
Question 2. On December 14th, 2007, Carey, who inked 400 people in a 24-hour period at her West Hollywood tattoo shop? Who tattooed 400 people?
Options.
Was it Kat Von D, Thomas Bennington, no relation to Jordan, Mark Mahoney?
Can you read the question one more time?
Yeah, on December 14th, 2007, who inked / tattooed 400 people in a 24-hour period at her West Hollywood tattoo shop?
Okay, give me the options one more time.
Was it Kat Von D, Thomas Bennington, or Mark Mahoney?
Let's go with A. Kat Von D.
You picked up on something that I didn't initially. Yep.
Household names all. Question number 3. Carey, the top 3 Jelly Belly jelly bean flavors in America are licorice, buttered popcorn, and what else?
Oh, man. Whew. I have no clue. Options.
They are berry blue, cotton candy, or very cherry.
Let's go cotton candy. Final answer.
Last question. Who won last year's Indianapolis 500? So not this past season or this past weekend, but last year's Indy 500 winner.
I don't know many. I know we had one here. Joseph Newgarden. Final answer. I hope that's his car racing.
Answered that one a little quickly. Here we go. What is the name of the main villain in the Hellraiser movie franchise? You both said Pinhead. Correct answer is...
We all remember the poster. Pinhead.
Nice job, guys. Both of you needed the options. 1-1 tie.
Very sneaky, sir.
On December 14th, 2007, who inked 400 people in a 24-hour period at her West Hollywood tattoo shop? You both took the options. You both wound up with Kat Von D. Correct answer is...
That would be Kat Von D.
Kat Von D. Yeah. The only Girl.
I need to listen twice just to make. I was like, did I hear this?
The only girl in
Cat.
the options. Was that
Really
the one?
good artist.
Wasn't she on a TV show, a reality show, or
It was
something?
Hollywood Inc. or something like that.
Yeah.
TLC, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. All right.
She's an excellent artist.
Nice job, guys. 2-2 tie. 2-2 tie.
2-2.
Who won last year's Indianapolis 500? You both said Joseph Newgarden. Correct answer is
the world's most interesting man, Joseph Newgarden.
Nice job, guys. Nice job. But Carey didn't need the options. Carey did not need the options on that one, so he has a 1-point lead heading into this question. The top 3 Jelly Belly jelly bean flavors in America are licorice, buttered popcorn, and what else? You both took the options. Carey wound up with cotton candy. Tom, who said, I think it's some cherry thing probably, went with very cherry. If it's very cherry, we got a walk-off. If it's cotton candy or berry blue, CD wins by 1 today. Sends Tom packing. Tom.
Walk it off.
We gotta walk off.
We gotta walk off.
Audition's down.
He's got
stupid computer.
He's down.
Very cherry. Very cherry is the correct answer.
Yes.
So we have a 4-4 tie. Tom, your guesses were all correct, by the way. Tom was like, I just guessed on all of them.
No.
You were 4 for 4, my
job,
friend.
Tom.
So nice job, Tom. This is how it's going to work. Carey's going to write down his answer.
We have a tiebreaker question.
No problem.
Modification. So Bradford will be reading the tiebreaker.
Sounds good. Carey is going to write down his answer. Tom, you're going to hold off until we get Carey's answer. Then we're going to go right to you. You'll tell us your answer, and we're going to go closest to the pin. Sound good, Tom?
Good to me.
All right, Bradford.
Okay. So, gentlemen, last year's winner of that Indianapolis 500, none other than Joseph Newgarden. At the end of the 2024 IndyCar racing season, oh, you know it, Carey, you know it. How many victories had Joseph Newgarden, career victories, did Joseph Newgarden have to his name? We need total wins after the 2024 season.
Spicy.
Carey went
All right, we have an answer quick.
Carey went quick on that one. All right, Tom, what's your answer?
4.
What? How many, Tom?
4.
4.
4.
All right.
Okay. Did you do the math?
Yes, I did.
Bradford's a genius. Don't question him.
I don't think you needed to.
I was just asking him a question. That's all. That wasn't questioning
I
him.
didn't like the way you worded it.
Tom.
You have chosen poorly.
So, Bradford, you asked how many career victories did Joseph Newgarden have following last year's open wheel
Yes.
racing?
That's right.
What's the answer?
The prolific number of 31.
31. Carey, you wrote down?
21.
21, Tom, with only 4 on that one. So Carey wins. He's closest to the pin. Sorry, Tom. Great effort today, man. You got all of them right. You just you didn't get the tiebreaker question.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too, Tom. Thank
Have
you.
a good one, buddy.
We'll see you.
Carey, well done, buddy.
Nice job.
Look at you knowing you're racing.
You know,
We had to.
it's a lifestyle.
We
You
had
had
to
to pivot.
audible.
Yeah, because of the Cretaceous period.
The Cretaceous period.
Oh,
we already
yeah.
had that one.
Yeah.
21 million.
79.
79. Yeah.
What did I
you
say?
answered 3.
Jamie said 3.
Liked it so much, had to try to go back to the well. What can I say?
I had this. I was like, oh no, I can't. Even though Carey and Tom probably would have no recollection, Carey knew that it was a high number.
Yeah, I did know it was a high number.
Yeah.
Nice job, Carey. You avoided the penalty box today.
Wow.
Way to
Thank
go,
goodness.
kid.
Good job, Carey.
Way to
Tough
go.
over there. It's you.
Nice. All right. We're on a 2-game winning streak here. We won 2 games. We win tomorrow. It's called a winning streak.
And it has happened before.
That's right. Was last night just a blip on the old radar for Miles Mikolas? Or should we just go ahead and hit that panic button now? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Start your day with the morning after on 101 ESPN. Get in the know first on everything St. Louis sports with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Martin Kilcoy. Listen to TMA weekday mornings from 7 to 11 a.m. on 101 ESPN. The morning after is presented by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. Strap yourself in. You're in the fast lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
Well, Mikolas struggled last night. No way around that. Fortunately, his offense and his bullpen saved the day. His offense rallied despite giving up three early runs. Cardinals rallied from being down 3-0, then 4-2. Wound up winning the game in Baltimore last night 6-4. But Mikolas allowed 9 hits in just 4 innings. He allowed 4 earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks. In a 72-pitch effort. Now, Jamie, you have posed the question over the last week or so about whether or not we feel like the other shoe is going to drop when it comes to Mikolas. Well, last night it certainly did. So, one, let's state this. Since the Boston series, every starting pitcher has had some issues, and then every starting pitcher, for the most part, though, have been great. Liberatore's the only guy that really hasn't had any issues. He's been stellar. But when it comes to Mikolas, we also know of his recent past, which hasn't been great. Last 2 years have not been great for Mikolas. Blip on the radar last night or start of big-time concerns?
Well, I think right now you have to look at it as a blip on the radar. You have to, because he's had a pretty solid season up to date. And last night was not great for him. And like Carey said, he was getting hit hard at the same time, too. So those are things that you don't like to see. But I think if you're the Cardinals, you have to be ready here. Because if your team's not competitive, whatever, we play it out, throw them out there every 5 games. But your team is in the playoffs right now. The Cardinals are in the playoffs right now. That changes everything. So if Miles Mikolas goes out and has another bad outing 5 days from now or whatever the math may be, probably about that time, you have to start wondering, like, okay, what's our pivot here? Like, do we start purposely now matching up to where Steven Matz is available on Miles Mikolas days so that if it blows up in the second inning, we got a guy that can at least take the ball for 3 or 4 and get us to the bullpen safely so we're not 6, 7, 8 deep in the bullpen?
Right.
To which we don't want to tax the bullpen because that's been a major problem for us for the last couple of years is burning out the bullpen. So I think if you're the Cardinals, and I'm sure they do, I'm sure they have a plan in place as to see if something blows up for one of their pitchers, not just specifically for Mikolas, but if it's Andre Palante or if Liberatore or something happens.
Bite your tongue.
I know. I'm giving examples.
Got it.
I apologize.
That's my fault.
No, it's fine. You overreacted, but that's okay. I expected it.
Yep.
It's fine. Anyways, so the Cardinals, in my opinion, this is a blip. I'm not overreacting here right now on Miles Mikolas, but I just thought to myself as I was going through, watching the game last night and going through some of the numbers today, I was like, they better be ready for this. Because it was fine last night that they got, how many guys deep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players deep, which is it's pretty deep, Carey.
Yeah,
5 guys is deep.
It's a lot.
Yeah. They're 5 deep last night in the bullpen. If they had a game today, like, what does it look like?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I understand that each went 1 inning, but you know how the bullpen is. If you have too many games where you're relying upon too many arms out of the bullpen, that can blow up.
Sure.
So I just was, I sat there and thought to myself, is this something the Cardinals need to be aware of and prepared for?
The balls that were hit, how hard they were hit, that was problematic for me. But I'm going to just, to make myself feel better, I'm going to say it was the weather conditions and the start being delayed. I can't.
God.
We're back to this.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Mr. No Excuses.
I'm going to give him an excuse. I'm going to give him an excuse. Yeah. I have to.
That is a legit excuse, too. That's not a reason. You know, sometimes, that's actually a reason why something like that.
The bad weather.
That is an excuse.
I have to give him a reason.
How could you play through bad weather?
Yeah, it was bad. It was rough. And the reason why I say that, I mean, I'm looking at his previous games. He went 6 innings, 6, 5 in the third, 5. Like, he's going to give you 6 innings. He's going to give you 5. He gave you 4. He got hit around a lot. I don't know that this is – I hope that this isn't the version of him that was in. When he got beat up in Boston, we were scared then. And he didn't stink anymore necessarily.
You're right.
He had a tough game against the Mets where he went 4 2/3, gave up 5 hits, but
one of the best lineups in baseball.
There you go. So for me, I'm not going to be. I mean, what do you expect? Like, I'm asking.
Championship baseball, Carey. You ever heard that before?
Yeah. From Miles Mikolas, what are your expectations? Not to get knocked out in 4 innings, no. 9 hits, no. I would at least like 5 2/3, 6 complete innings. I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to panic too much. It was 1 start. I think everybody's
I'm with you on that.
Allowed to get.
But I'm just wondering, like, if it goes further than 1 start.
Now, if it happens again, his next start, and he's getting thumped around, and they're hitting the ball extremely hard, and there are no weather delays or weather conditions, Anthony, then then I will be concerned.
So here's where I'm at on this. Miles Mikolas is who he is. I mean, this is somebody that is going to have the ball be put in play a lot. So you better have great defense behind him. We have always known he is not somebody who's going to miss bats. If you look at his player profile, I won't bore you with the stats. His chase rate and his swing and miss, it's just not there. He doesn't have swing and miss stuff. The ball's going to be put in play. He's got to locate. He's got to keep everybody off balance because that produces soft contact. If he produces soft contact, no issues. Last night he gave up P-Rockets all over the field.
It was getting smoked.
It was 9 hits. I think all 9 hits topped off.
It sounded hard.
They sounded hard.
Yes.
I think all 9 hits average about 150 miles per hour off the bat. Right? Like there's nothing you can do. Your defense can only do so much in that regard. Most of the starts this year for Miles Mikolas, a lot of soft contact, no issues, kept the ball in the park, right? That's where we're at right now with Miles Mikolas. If 4 of his 5 starts are soft contact, get you to the 6th inning, fine.
Yeah.
If one bad start is like that, hopefully your offense can bail you out. But if you got a 4-to-1 ratio, good. Jamie, to your point, that gets more to like 2 good, 2 bad, or 3 bad, 2 good. Now maybe you start to fire up the Michael McGreevy conversation.
So McGreevy for sure, because we just look at his month of May here too. I pulled this up here. McGreevy had in the month of May 27.2 innings pitched, 1.3 ERA, 34 strikeouts, and a batting average of 236 against him.
Mm-hmm.
So McGreevy seems to be playing the part. But Bradford brought up an interesting thing, too. I was talking about Miles Mikolas, because I said, I don't know if I trust Miles Mikolas. And Bradford said, okay, but maybe do you trust the bullpen more?
And the bullpen to log extended innings at that. I think now, guys, we're actually at the point in the season in which you can actually evaluate the situation and say, okay, it has been decidedly more than just the high leverage arms at the back of your bullpen. You know what, in all likelihood, you're going to get from a Helsley, even to that point, to that end. As I said at the top of the show, Romero hasn't been scored upon in the entire month of May. And it's no coincidence that last season or last night, when you set up and you had to employ 5 different arms coming out of the relief corps, how did it go innings 7 through 9? You had Maton, you went back to Romero because he is rounding more into form, followed by Helsley. What I question, and Jamie, what we talked about before the show began, the sustainability of having those bridge guys actually performing as ably, as capably over the course of the last few months of the season. And it goes hand in hand, right? You need your starting pitching to consistently go deep in games to give you those innings. And by the same token, you can't afford to overexpose really the likes of a Leahy, because I still don't know. You don't know down the stretch, depending on how much work he's getting as well. Do you run the risk of diminished results if everybody isn't able to go consistently deep?
Yeah, I think that just what Bradford, what you just said was you have to avoid multiple people going into slumps at the same time.
Sure,
really,
ideally,
whether it's your starting rotation, you get a couple of really bad starts, and all of a sudden your bullpen looks taxed. The offense, if 4 or 5 guys are slumping at the same time, well, now you don't really have an offense and you're leaning too much on your pitching staff. The baseball season, as we know, is a marathon. So if you can avoid those prolonged slumps from your offense and your pitching, defense should never slump. It shouldn't. You should never slump defensively.
Yeah.
But if you slump offensively, if you slump with your bullpen or your starting pitching, 2 of the other 3 have to pick up the slack.
Right.
Because guys are going to slump. It's baseball. But if you can avoid prolonged slumps, that's how you make the playoffs. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are good enough
Pitching has been
to make the playoffs.
Has been good.
Yeah. Surprisingly good.
It's been good.
Mm-hmm. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got NFL 4 downs, including a weird situation with a receiver. Prolific receiver who had, we'll tell you next on 101 ESPN.
Very weird.
101 ESPN is powered by Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's injury lawyers. Call 314-500-5000.
Spread Zone, where sports betting meets reckless optimism, questionable logic, and the occasional stroke of genius. With hosts Anthony Stalter, Tim McKernan, and Scott Rizzuto. Check out the latest from the Spread Zone at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. The Spread Zone is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. 101 ESPN Sports Center.
Redbirds resume schedule tomorrow. Good afternoon. I'm Bradford Bruns with a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet plus Johnny Londoff Autoplex. St. Louis is idle today following its 6-4 series clinching triumph against Baltimore. About 26 hours from now, Texas welcomes STL to town. Matthew Liberatore will battle Jack Leiter there. Earlier this afternoon, Philadelphia topped Atlanta 5-4. Tonight, NBA Conference Finals, Eastern Variety, game number 5. The action pitting the Knicks against the Pacers on the ice. Meanwhile, Dallas and Edmonton also in a Game 5 situation. Oilers leading that series by the score of 3-1. This SportsCenter update was driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN. Driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
Here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, and here is Bradford Bruns.
First down.
All right, guys. Anthony, as you teased it a few minutes ago, let's head to that Windy City where Caleb Williams trying to get out ahead of a story pertaining to a new upcoming book release in which the author, Seth Wickersham, previously of ESPN, detailing Williams and his family, the alleged confusion or last year prior to the draft, not exactly a desire of wanting to go number 1 overall to Chicago. So yesterday, before addressing a horde of media reporters there, before the first OTA session available to the media, Williams said, I am committed to being the guy here. Spoke at length, basically for 4 minutes overall. So with the new head coach in place in Ben Johnson and just a plethora of toys, what do you think? What are some reasonable expectations playing-wise, numbers-wise, for Williams this year?
Can I, before we get into that stuff,
yeah.
Carey, can I ask you a question regarding the situation?
I honestly think we're on the same page.
I'm not worried about the numbers right now.
Oh, okay.
This story that came out from Seth Wickersham, one, how does Seth have this information? And two, how disruptive could that be to the locker room?
So,
like, does it matter now?
I don't think it matters now. You got a new head coach. You're headed in a new direction. But if we're being honest, I mean, because I thought this was where you were going to go. Would you have wanted to be a Chicago Bear? Like, if the history.
I don't think there was much of a secret.
The history
as a quarterback,
as a QB, like their leading passer in all time, the best passer in their history. It's Jay Cutler. Jay.
He had a big arm.
He did. He could throw it.
Yeah.
But that's the best quarterback you've ever had.
Yeah.
That's not great.
It's not great.
Not a long list of successful quarterbacks there.
No.
It doesn't give you enthusiasm to be a Chicago Bear. Mm-hmm. And coming off the prior regime, they would fire a quarterback, fire a coach, draft a first-round quarterback, fire a coach, draft a first-round quarterback, fire a coach, draft a first-round. Like, they did this 3 times. Mm-hmm. Who the hell wants to be in that mess? And if you're a rookie, a guy that's going to be drafted first overall, you're probably looking at it like, this is mess. Now, all things are cleared up. Got a new head coach in place. And he's probably saying, don't believe everything you read. Right?
Yeah.
Don't believe it. Didn't happen. It's not real.
Right.
Jamie knows what I'm talking about.
Was his dad part of the story, though?
I don't remember any of this.
Not my dad. You got him wrong. My
literal quotes from his father?
That's another guy.
Yeah, my dad drinks a lot.
Yeah. Didn't happen. My dad is my dad, you know? I didn't tell him to say
His opinions aren't mine.
There you go.
You could have went full Tyrese Halliburton on that one. Yeah, listen, don't agree with my dad. Don't know what he's doing. I told him that.
Yeah.
Now what?
There you go.
I think the adults. Let's be adult here. Like
he's fine.
He had said, "Look, I toured the facility in Minnesota. Really like what they had to offer. Then took the trip to Chicago, and then I was all in on Chicago. So let's just let it lie on. I mean, everybody just be an adult.
Yeah,
like get out of your feelings.
And I could have
if
not.
If he wins, it's not going to matter.
I didn't want to be here, but they drafted me. I'm stuck.
Well, I did, Carey. No, Carey.
I don't know if I go with that one.
Carey, what I said, you just completely erased what I just said.
I almost cursed after that and said, "What the? I'm stuck. What the fast lane?"
No, hey guys, I'm really excited to be a quarterback this year. I mean, I'm stuck here.
Yeah. You drafted me, and like I had an option.
Does anybody have any questions?
All right, go Bears. Yeah, he's got to go Bears.
Second down.
All right, guys, this story is evolving, but yesterday, new Patriots acquisition at wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. He was not present for, mind you, a voluntary OTA session. However, this came on the heels of a rather curious video, we'll just say that surfaced online. Now, you can't exactly dissect what was transpiring in said video. You know if you know. But what a bang-up start to Mike Vrabel's tenure as the Patriots head coach.
I mean, you know, Stephon Diggs looks like he was just having a good time. His girlfriend was on the boat as well. I know people didn't know that. She was on the yacht as well. There were other women on the yacht.
Yeah, lots of women. I noticed that.
If his partner had no issue with it, why would he or anyone else?
Yeah.
His partner had no issue.
I didn't have any issue.
It's the offseason. Is it week 3?
Yeah.
No, he's good.
No, he's fine. And he was back in practice today.
Yeah, that was probably because he felt the pressure of the media. There's some pressure when he's on that yacht. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's pressure that a lot of us would probably be okay with.
I was fine.
Yeah.
You have a good time, man? It's not a problem.
I didn't care that he was on a boat with several women.
Several.
Wearing bikinis. I mean, I felt bad for him because it looked like he was the only guy there.
Scantily clad.
That's tough.
You probably would have helped, Jamie.
Well, you got to help your buddy out. Come on.
Be a good wingman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help him.
As far as anything else in that video, it's all speculation.
It looked like he was handing him something, but again,
we don't know.
Gum to me.
It could have been fun dip.
Gum. Fun dip.
It was pink.
It was
fun dip. I know I love fun dip.
There you go.
Who doesn't?
Speculation.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the chase. Is he a viable receiver at this point in his career?
I don't know.
You and I were going back and forth about this last year.
I'm like, superstar last year.
Remember,
I thought he was going to be.
And he said Josh Allen won't be anything without him.
And I'm like,
I did say that.
I actually didn't make that up.
No, you didn't make that up. Sometimes you make things up.
Sometimes.
And I have to search, and I'm like, I didn't say that. But this one, I actually did say that. I was like, get rid of your number one receiver. He's going to stink. He's actually won MVP, so he's better. How the hell that happened?
I was like, Carey, is he still number one?
I don't think so. I don't know. He might not be.
He'll be an option.
He'll be so in New England.
Yeah.
He's a number one. Is he not?
Yeah, probably.
Who else
They have
they got?
nothing else, Anthony.
In New England. Do you remember the last time the Pats had a 1,000-yard receiver?
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
A little bit after that, I guess. Still, 2019. It was Edelman. 2019.
He set you up for that.
Yeah, he totally did.
We
set that up to dunk on you.
Unbelievable, because he knew that
he knew the answer.
He plotted this. He was like,
well, we don't even know if that's true. Bradford may have just staltered us.
He could have, actually.
Did you just say an answer?
He could have.
Without actually knowing what the answer was?
I hope he did.
You would accuse me of such a thing?
That would be beautiful.
Not really.
Sir, Carey,
I hope he did. I'm looking now.
That would be amazing.
The fast lane fill-in.
Because nobody would accuse Bradford. No, there's no way he did it.
Absolutely not.
That's the ultimate ruse.
Look it up.
It's been Ezekiel Elliott. Oh no, that was
that's the wrong team.
No, he was there. It was
but
a couple years ago. I'll find it. You can keep going.
I'll let you get with it, Carey.
All right.
Third down.
Let's stay out wide, shall we? Where in Miami, Tyreek Hill looking for some renewed motivation and just, I guess you could say, a less stressful, that would be one way to put it, 2025. Now, showing up yesterday to OTAs, we know that there was a lot of on and off field mayhem and confusion stemming from last season, but he has actually dropped 13 pounds. So my question for you guys is, do you still view Tyreek in the same vein where he was a couple of years ago? Is he still that guy?
I'll answer that. I can confirm it was 2019, Julian Edelman. Second on the team
Nice
that
job,
year.
Bradford.
James White, the running back.
Oh, boy.
they stink in the receiving part. Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is, man, is he still running fast?
Yeah. He's still, look, I'll do what Carey has often done, because let's simplify this. It's smart. Every defensive coordinator that plays Miami next year will be worried about Tyreek Hill.
There you go.
The quarterback situation was the issue last year when Tua got hurt again. The offense was dreadful.
Yep.
Couldn't throw the ball 2 feet. They were bringing in guys that were on like Baltimore's practice squad an hour early. Like, it just didn't work. They needed a better backup quarterback situation, and they got bit for it. But Tyreek Hill is still a game changer in every sense of the words.
Yeah. He's a problem. So I don't have any. I don't think anybody other than defensive coordinators that play the Dolphins. Those are the ones that worry. Yeah. I don't have any worries about Tyreek Hill running fast and catching footballs.
4th down.
Finally slinging it to East Rutherford, who's going to be getting the ball to those receivers, namely Malik Neighbors. He sat out an OTA session yesterday, but Russell Wilson, let's ride for now with him as the guy getting the bulk of the first team reps. A few also went to Jackson Dart as well as Jameis Winston. How long before, I'm just going to say it, Dart, the guy you just picked, is nipping at the heels for the number 1 job with the G-Men?
I would probably give it week 6 to 8, whenever their bye is. It's usually when teams try to make that move if things aren't going well. I don't know that he comes out of training camp as the starter, but you didn't draft him in the first round to sit him on the bench. Now, if Russell Wilson plays well and he can show you, they don't have a bye until week 14. It'll happen before then, I would assume. If it's not, you don't draft a guy in the first round to sit him on the bench. Especially when you got guys like Russell and Jameis as the guys in front of him.
Russell Wilson will throw a couple of lob balls to Malik Neighbors for a couple of weeks, and everybody will say, hey, you got something here in Russ again. And then all of a sudden, he'll hold onto the ball for too long, get sacked, the offense will score 3 points. Basically what happened with the Steelers last year.
Why did you have to bring it back to the Steelers?
He was with the Steelers last year.
Carey.
And what I said, that's exactly what happened.
It is.
He threw the 50-50 ball.
It's understandable.
Consistently. Then he started holding on to the ball too long when he started facing better defenses who knew he wouldn't go in the middle of the field.
Man, and run routes in the middle of the field. Because your man, Artie the Party, doesn't run. What the hell is he doing?
Why is he attacking you now?
It's not my guy.
It is your guy. You sent them to us intentionally.
I didn't send them to
You told them to hire
FedEx cousins.
I didn't even know his dad created FedEx.
Yeah, he's a millionaire. He don't need this. He just loves it.
That's why he
just loves football.
He don't give a damn.
He doesn't need it.
Hey, come on, Artie.
Right?
There's a lot of friction in this segment.
Artie, the one-man party.
Come on, man.
You love him. Wait till you get Jonnu Smith from Miami. Your whole offense is going to be completely different.
We'll see what Artie does this year.
What do you got? Bijan Robinson, you drafted him in the top 10? Yeah. To hell with him. You sit right next to Drake London. It's Jonnu Smith time.
Better arm, legitimately. Danger Russ or Tommy DeVito? That's a serious question.
Probably Tommy
DeVito. Russ. I'll go with Russ on that. Yeah.
Tommy?
I'll go with Russ.
He's an Illini. Give him some love.
He's on the roster, too.
He was also a Syracuse.
Yeah, orange.
He was an orange.
He's Big Ten. That's all that matters.
He came to Illini.
That's all that matters.
You know me well. Give a damn about nothing else.
All Carey cares about is Big Ten.
Syracuse, though, when he played, was in the ACC.
Yeah. They still are, aren't they?
Yeah, they still are. So
cares about the Big Ten. That's all.
Tommy.
He hates the SEC.
With good reason.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Okay.
All right. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We will take your mic drops. We will play your mic drops at the top of the hour. So if you want to discuss the Brendan Donovan situation, Jamie has panicked and think the Cardinals have got past their. Donovan has increased his value so much that the Cardinals won't be able to.
Anthony
won't be able to sign him. Carey's just flat out told Brendan Donovan to go fast lane himself.
I don't even like you.
Won't pay him until he absolutely has
and then we'll just get rid of him.
What are your thoughts? Leave a mic drop via the 101 ESPN, Dobbs Star and Auto Center's mobile app, and we'll get to those at the 5 o'clock hour. Speaking of Carey, he watched 2 players last night, one of which we may have crowned a little too early. And the other one, why isn't he a superstar yet? That's next on 101 ESPN.
It's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Dodgers and Yankees. Pre-game at 5. First pitch at 6:10. The MLB plays on 101 ESPN.
If you like playing baseball, basketball, NHL hockey, whatever it is, you got to play Underdog Fantasy. When I say play, I mean you could choose players that you think have great matchups, and then you can decide whether or not they're going to go higher or lower on their stats. So if you love a matchup tonight between the Knicks and the Pacers, or maybe a baseball game that you've circled, obviously you got the Oilers and Stars for their matchup, do or die game for the Stars. Maybe you like one of those matchups, or you hate one of the matchups. Go lower on certain players' stats. Build your card with Underdog. To play, all you have to do is download the app, and again, choose whether or not a player will go higher or lower on their stats. Once your entry feels good, you could play for as little as $1. You get everything right. You can win up to 1,000 times your money, all playing at Underdog Fantasy. But you do have to download the app, and I got a special offer for you. Promo code Anthony is what you use to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use my promo code Anthony at Underdog Fantasy and stop being a person that's like, I knew he would have a big game. We'll get paid for that at Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
is The Fast Lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
1, 2, 3, 4.
With all that being said, this is a step in the right direction, but we have a lot more work to do, and we know that, and that's what we're focused on. So let's buckle up and get ready.
That is the MVP of this year's NBA regular season, SGA. Oklahoma City is moving on to the NBA Finals after defeating Minnesota 124-94. What a remarkable performance by SGA as he scores 34 points, grabs 7 boards, and dishes out 8 assists. Anthony Edwards, who a lot of people kind of crowned as like this year's, at least in the playoffs, this year's star. Star on the rise. Anthony Edwards, incredible player. Could he rise to something more than even what he is right now? It wasn't Ant Edwards that had the big Western Conference Finals. It was SGA, the MVP. But Carey, this led you down the path, though, of talking about superstars and why maybe perhaps SGA isn't a superstar.
Well, I think for me, being a superstar is let's start on the field, on the ice, on the court, whatever. Let's start there. Like, that's the person, Jamie, you know, is when you're sitting in meetings, there are certain numbers that you circle and say, hey, if this guy has a day, we might as well not even give it up, because we're not going to have a chance. So that's the guy you got all the eyes on, and you know that if this person, if you don't stop him, you're going to have a tough day winning that game that day. So that's the on-court, on-ice field aspect of it. And then for me, a superstar, it transcends into other areas. It's like people are tuned in because you are doing something that they can't fathom being able to do. You are electric. You are special. You do every time they turn on the TV, something is going to happen. You're like, whew, Lord, I don't know how he did that. Mm-hmm. I think of Connor McDavid, and he is a superstar because when you watch him, like I've told you, I'm like, why does it look like he's so much faster?
He's fast forward.
Yes. Like, how is this possible? Because he has something that other people don't have. SGA's game, watching him play, you're like, man, he's good. He won the MVP. Same thing with Jokic. Very good.
Yeah.
Very slow. Mm-hmm. Like, it's nothing. They don't play above the rim. They don't play. It's not ball handling like Kyrie. It's not shooting like Steph Curry. It's not dunking or the athleticism of a LeBron James or the skill set of a Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. But it makes me wonder, like, are they considered superstars? Like, do you have to be doing something that people are unable to do to be considered a superstar?
No, I think that the reason somebody becomes a superstar is because they are who they are. Mm-hmm. And with that, they have charisma and they have a presence.
So it's also off the field, 100%. Off the court.
I think, I separate the word superstar from their off-ice, off-court, off-field persona. If you're using the word superstar, there is something magnetic about them.
Okay.
And it just...
I'm going to push back.
Go for it.
Because Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, they're plain white toast. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to them. There's nothing exciting.
Sure.
They have no charisma off the ice. Like, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
Leon Draisaitl's got plain white toast. Like,
right.
Kucherov. These are superstars.
Maybe they're not.
Well, they are, though, Anthony. How can you deny Sidney Crosby?
Well, would you go to, I mean, Europe's probably a bad example in this case, but
you go anywhere in the world and they know who Connor McDavid is. Sidney Crosby. Anywhere in the world.
Maybe not. My question,
maybe not.
So for me, when he's saying that, I think of a superstar can't walk down the street because they would be mauled. Like, I
think Connor McDavid can walk down the street and
I think he could.
Where?
Olive?
North Dakota.
No, he'd probably get mauled in North Dakota.
All right, Florida.
Florida, Probably a chance. But also, you could put, who's your NBA? Like, LeBron.
That's why he said LeBron couldn't walk down.
LeBron couldn't, but LeBron's also had, 10 or 15 years of superstars.
Steph Curry couldn't either.
Steph Curry could walk right down all of you.
No, he couldn't.
I guarantee it.
No way.
No, he could not.
I guarantee it.
I think you're that, like, I know you don't believe it. Steph Curry could not walk down Olive right now without being mauled. I am 100% certain.
You put Steph Curry at the Mid-Rivers Mall, and he's walking around there.
He's not gonna make it out of there without.
He's walking around there for quite a while before somebody figures it out.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
You guys are wrong.
Not possible.
What's the common denominator, though, in that league? We're talking about, let's be honest, old faces now. Whereas in these other leagues, I think we're getting younger. We're trending in that direction. And for the NBA in particular, you're trying to figure out, okay, there needs to be this passing of the guard per se. So who is it going to be? I'll tell you one of the individuals who was going to be that guy who would have been the face a year plus ago. It would have been Ja Morant. Why? Because he has that singular flair with the athleticism and all of that. He has those qualities. SGA, one, isn't as magnetic, and I don't think we can separate those two things, personality from game. Plus, where does he specialize? What's his area of the floor? He's a mid-range guy. He isn't appealing to the masses. Yes, but does he do anything to so off the charts that people can't help but stop and watch? Now, that's not my opinion, but
I agree. I think that's when you're talking about superstars, like, it has to be the on-field, on-ice, on-court, the ability to do something that the common man or woman can't do. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at it like, whew, man, I would never be able to do that.
And maybe it's just semantics, but when you throw the word super in front of star, it has to be more than just what they're doing on the ice. I think Connor McDavid is a star within the NHL. Sidney Crosby a star. Tim Duncan was an NBA star.
So would you consider Wayne Gretzky
Allen
a
Iverson
superstar?
was a superstar.
Would you consider Wayne Gretzky a superstar?
Yeah.
He was playing white toast, too.
Okay. But there's something, but we're talking about the greatest player in NHL history, and when you were watching him, you also.
But you're saying two different things then, because you literally said, for me, a superstar has to be the off-ice, off-field too persona, all this stuff.
I don't think Wayne Gretzky could walk down this. I don't think Wayne Gretzky could walk down Olive,
because
but I think Connor McDavid could.
Okay, but let's go back to Wayne Gretzky's prime then. Still, he was playing white toast.
Yeah, but I'm
he
saying
couldn't walk down the street anywhere.
I agree.
Do you think he had presence? Do you think Wayne Gretzky had presence in his prime?
In what way?
In that he walks into a room, he commands a room. People kind of look.
Well, that's just because he's Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
Like, he didn't have the persona around him, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to poke holes in it. I'm just saying I don't necessarily, if a player, I guess my point is less poking holes in what you're saying, and I don't want to come across that way. It's more of how great a player is, too. They can transcend. So you don't necessarily have to be a big personality or social media relevant and things like that.
Yeah.
If you're that dominant at the sport that you play.
Okay, so maybe there's exceptions
that's what I'm
then.
saying.
How about Mike Trout?
Yeah.
Do you think he's a superstar? Or was in his prime?
I think at least, yes, I do.
Okay.
Do I think he could walk down the street in a lot of places? Yes.
So save for being the absolute greatest player in the game and all that, if you aren't, like Tim Duncan, Hall of Famer, NBA star, I would not consider Tim Duncan a superstar. I think Allen Iverson was more of a superstar.
I agree.
There was a presence to him. He had the personality and charisma. There was something about AI where we're like, I gotta watch this dude play.
And market plays a role too.
Yes.
Make no mistake about it. San Antonio, Philly, it's a big difference.
San Antonio, excellent city, fun. Jamie's walking in the river, almost arrested. Not Philadelphia. So I don't know. There's always exceptions, but I think more times than not, again, superstars. Think about movies too. Not just with athletes, movies and TV. There are certain actors and actresses that, like, just, man, I gotta find out more about this. There's something. All right, Jamie.
What?
Talking about their craft.
That's what I was too.
I don't think so. I saw that face. I knew what you meant. Just by
George
looking at you.
Clooney's a hell of an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what your beef is.
Yeah. Cardinals mic drops are next. So last chance to get in your mic drops here on the Brendan Donovan contract situation here on 101 ESPN.
WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis, 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. Two pros and one average show. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 507. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We asked for your mic drops via the 101 ESPN mobile app, and you delivered. Brendan Donovan. Jamie was a little concerned that the price keeps going up on Brendan Donovan, and eventually the Cardinals won't put the money out for Brendan Donovan to re-sign him. What are your thoughts? Carey said, to hell with him. If he don't want to be here, then he can go fast.
That's essentially how the text line works. Damn near verbatim how the text line works.
All right, here is Evan who left us a mic drop.
I believe the Cardinals should definitely let him walk in free agency, play everything out to arbitration. They can be as stingy as they want. I don't care. The Cardinals have proven one thing that they can do, and that is create utility players. They have so much trouble at corner outfield, developing a big bat, whatever it is, but they seem to have this knack for developing a utility player very quickly. We had Donnie while Edman was here, so we shipped Edman out. Just let him walk. I feel like if we sign him and going into his 30s, we're going to regret it. Let's just let him walk. If he gets a big contract, we get that comp pick.
All right. Well, and by the way, we should say this. You may have
Cardinals
missed,
fans hate Donovan.
If you missed that part, Brendan Donovan still has 2 years left of arbitration, which is why Carey, all kidding aside, said, why don't you just walk through the arbitration process with Brendan Donovan? You don't have to sign him. He's 28 years old, and you just go to arbitration for the next 2 years.
I think you sign him if you're going to save money. That's why you sign players to an extension. You sign Mason Wynn to an extension because it'll save you money in the long run. Because he'll be 25, 26 when he's up for a new contract, and you're like, okay, that saves you money. But Brendan Donovan, he's going to be 30 or 31 by the time his arbitration ends. You're not. Are you saving yourself money?
Let me ask you this: would you, Carey Davis, would you sign Donovan?
Yes.
Okay.
I would give him. I would pay.
So
him.
you're talking.
I think he's a great player.
You're viewing this as
but my business brain, as Jamie Rivers always talks about. Sentimentally, yes, I love Brendan Donovan. I think he's a great player. I think he's done a great job. I think he earns every dollar that he should get. I think he has earned it. But in terms of the Cardinals and the business side of it, I don't see them doing that, and I don't see a need for them to do that. I don't see.
But you're saying that, or the Cardinals?
The Cardinals, there is no need, because when you sign a player, in my opinion, when you sign a younger player to an extension, it is to save yourself money in the long run. If you sign Ronald Acuna, what did he sign for?
A lot.
When he signed.
What? Basically, though, it's a deal now.
It's a deal.
Yeah, Ozzie Albies is a perfect example of what you're talking about.
Those guys were stars as young players.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they were young players. They were stars. Their market would have been $30, $40 million if you wait.
Yeah,
and if you can sign him for 25,
Albie signed for 7 years, $35 million.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
that's a deal. It's damn near robbery for the young man.
$35 million a year.
They robbed
no, total.
So you sign a young player that you feel is going to be a superstar or a star to a deal for a number of years because you're going to save yourself money. In this instance, you're not really saving yourself money. You're spending more money with the hopes that it continues.
Yeah. I just think there's certain players on your roster.
Do you think you should do the right thing by him? I don't disagree. I think you should. But you should do the right thing.
The leadership does have to come in at some point. You know, like it's the value.
Number, though?
It's the value. It's understanding the dollar of everything, but the value of nothing. You know
what number? What's the number that you say?
I think the number. I think the number is anywhere between 10 and 15 a year. I think that's reasonable.
And when he's 33 years old, or 33 years old, on his last couple of years, getting paid $15 million a year, and you have a young guy that you think is supposed to be in this place, then what?
You trade him.
Then you got
trade
issues.
Who? You could trade Brendan Donovan at that point. A contending team would pick him up.
Maybe.
I hate to say this, but it kind of works out. You know, I mean, it's worked out with Arenado. We all wanted him gone. Free up for Gorman.
Traded.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, not going off the earth.
Gone.
No. But Carey, that's always the risk, right? Like the contract is bad. You don't you don't have a replacement, or you do have a replacement, which is a good problem to have. Here is Andrew. Do you think it's Marsh?
Marsh is. What is Marshy doing?
I think Donnie should get the money and get the extension from the Cardinals. In a couple of years, when his arbitration eligibility is gone, Wilson Contreras' contract will have expired, and that opens up first base as another option for Donovan to go to. And I think he could easily take that first base spot, because thinking long term, I do not think Nolan Gorman has a future here in St. Louis.
Okay. Kind of plays into what you said, Jamie, that you can move him.
You can.
You can move him around the diamond.
You move him around the diamond, and I don't necessarily consider that to be a utility player. To me, it's a player that can excel at different positions.
And he's not a power guy.
No.
He's not a speed guy. He's a high contact guy. So typically those players last longer.
Stick around a little bit longer and still be effective.
Oh, no. Sorry, Carey. Here's Chester.
Good afternoon, Snake Pit, gentlemen. It's Friday Eve. I'm here to tell you that Brendan Donovan is worth 5 years and $75 million.
Yeah, Carey.
Do it before arbitration. make sure that he's locked up and doesn't end up in pinstripes, Dodger blue, or even as a Red Sox. Because let me tell you, the Red Sox are not looking good, and we have a $250 million player who won't pick up a glove after our first baseman gets injured. Wow, thank God you guys have a real GM, because we're kind of a donkey signed Devers to that extension. Wait for it. Anyway, I'm over here chugging French dressing and French fries into my mouth because I have to surrender the Red Sox season pretty soon. Better to do that than the French. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend. And speaking of opponents that just roll over without a fight,
there it is.
Have a good one, CD.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming from Chester.
I'm going to have to beat the hell out of him in the Gauntlet. I thought you meant... well, I'm not going to beat the hell out of him in life. He's hilarious. I got to take him behind the woodshed in the Gauntlet.
Yeah, you do.
I got to beat the hell out of him. Like, it like 8-0. Like, I got to beat the brakes off of him.
You're going to go 8 Cobb. Yeah. All right, if you want to leave us a question for our Sports Six-Pack, you can. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Send in your questions. Sports Six-Pack is next.
Have a good one, CD.
We want to hear from you. Use the Scott Lee Mic Drop feature on the 101 mobile app. Give us your opinion on anything St. Louis sports with a mic drop.
Brought to you by the Scott Lee Heating Company.
If you need a new ride, or maybe you got a graduate that needs a new car and you want it to be reliable and safe and you get a great deal on it and comes with an excellent warranty, well, try Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Again, it's a perfect time to head out there. They've got their Bloom and Vroom sales event. No payments for 6 months on select new Nissans. No payments for 3 months on used vehicles. So think about it this way. If you've got a graduate that might be working over the summertime, you could purchase that vehicle for them. And if it's a used vehicle, they don't have to start paying it for another 3 months. Save up some money for that. No payments for 6 months on select new Nissans. So they could get 6 months going where they got a full summer of paychecks, and then maybe winter break they work as well. However you want to do it, obviously that's up to you. But at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, they also have the complimentary new car lifetime warranty. So this is where that peace of mind comes in. If you're a parent and you got a first-time driver, or you got somebody that's maybe traveling out of town or out of state when it comes to their college experience, why not hook them up at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, where they got the complimentary new car lifetime warranty, 30-day new car return promise, and 3 oil changes included on every new Nissan. Financing options for everyone that walks through the door at Auto Centers. Check them out online, autocentersnissan.com. When you head down to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. 800 new and used vehicles, all in one easy location out in Herculaneum. It's Auto Centers Nissan, where the inventory's big, the savings are bigger, and the nonsense is nowhere to be found.
ESPN has your chance to win a pair of passes to Holiday World and Splash and Safari, celebrating 25 years of free unlimited soft drinks. Make the most of your family's summer with a trip to Holiday World and Splash and Safari, the water coaster capital of the world. Find more details and enter to win free passes to Holiday World and Splash and Safari right now at 101ESPN.com or your 101 mobile app. Strap yourself in. You're in the fast lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
I have a question.
It's time for the fast lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Must be 21 years of age or older. Drink responsibly.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, and our guy, Bradford Bruns, pinch hitting for Andrew Marsh today. If you have a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Question one, please, Bradford.
Question number one.
Gentlemen, the Grant Francis fan club is back in action, and with a poignant question here. Jamie, over the weekend, the former Blues as well as Cardinals executive Mark Sauer passed away. Yeah. Can you give a bit of insight as to what his impact was here in the Gateway City?
Well, he came in at a time when the Blues needed a bump. Franchise had changed ownership, and we were heading into a new era, especially down at the Kiel Center. And look, Mark Sauer was a good man. He really was. He's a kind of guy that was in the organization that you saw him periodically, but he didn't overstep, you know. And his strength was certainly on the business side of things. And he brought in some great people to help pump up the business side, because when you move from the Checker Dome to the Kiel Center, the dollar is more important at that point. You have to start dragging in more revenue. And I think that his vision and the way he did things, and certainly, again, the people that he brought in to help boost that and to pump up the marketing campaign. I know Jim Woodcock came in after that, and Jim was just a fantastic individual, did a lot of amazing things here for the Blues, and now he helps Shad Khan. He's moved on to the NFL and other projects like that. But no, Mark Sauer had a vision on how to increase revenues for the Blues, and he accomplished that. And obviously, franchise was in pretty good hands in those times.
And also served as the Cardinals chief operating officer for 3 years, 89 through 91, and then moved into the MLB ranks elsewhere with Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah. He's certainly, he's a guy that people covet, for sure.
Question number two.
Question number two coming from the 314. Gentlemen, what are some of your biggest pet peeves, specifically Jamie and Carey, when you were playing that you saw from other fellow athletes?
Biggest pet peeves.
From other players?
Yeah.
Okay, one of my biggest pet peeves was guys that would be skating around in the middle of a game, like at a whistle, and like looking in the glass at themselves to make sure they looked okay. They're worried about like their jersey placement, their hair, or whatever. Like, I'm like, really? What do you like? I'd bust guys. Be like, you look okay? You okay with that? Yeah. You play now because you get your helmet on and your hair's in the perfect spot. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah. For me, it would be.
Took me forever to stop doing that.
Don't you have a commercial where?
Yeah.
Carey's got an old commercial where him and who was it? Who was
Pavel Demitra
and Jamie are looking in the mirror, like doing their hair and stuff like that before a game.
That was actually a Jim Woodcock production.
Oh, really?
Because we had moved back to Saturday nights. So Blues are back on Saturday night. Like it's a big thing. So we act like we're getting ready. Like Saturday night in St. Louis, and we're primping our hair and stuff.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
For me, it would be like teammates so we get practice scripts, and it tells you what plays.
It is scripted.
Well, practices. It tells you what plays are being called. Yeah. And so when people would go and look at the practice script before they got in the huddle, to know what play they were going to get so that they could prepare 3 or 4 plays in advance. Because, like, if I'm going in on play 4, they would go over. If they were going in on play 4, they would go and look at, okay, play 4, all right, okay. So now they gave themselves 3 or 4 plays, which is 4 or 5 minutes, to figure out what play they're about to run. And it irritated me because in a game, you don't get that much advance. You get 10 seconds to get the play from the quarterback, and now you got to learn, and now you got to line up and run the play.
Right.
So you're not preparing yourself for the game. You're actually defeating the purpose of the preparation, and you're doing it so you don't mess up. But when you get in the game, you're going to mess up either way because you have no clue what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, and so along the lines of that, Carey, you brought up a couple things for me is whenever we'd work on the power play in practice, but the penalty kill is in the same locker room as the power play when you're going over what you're kind of trying to do.
Guys are looking and trying
like
to...
The hero biscuits are like standing beside you before you get the puck and like to tap it out.
Yeah.
Like, really?
You know what? Yeah.
They'd always get a solid like 2-hand then across the legs. Hated that.
Yeah. The practice hero plays, like the players, the guys that, so we run a play 2 times, 3 times, run it again. And now this idiot, pick 6, yeah. Sit down, dummy. You know the play is coming.
Yeah.
Trying to work on
those. Are driving me nuts. And the last one would be the fake block for me. To where a guy would skate out like in the shot lane and then just at the end like just veer a little bit out of the shot lane. Like, oh man, like playing the part like I'm going out to block this shot, but just a little bit. So the guy who has half a brain who's shooting it goes, oh well, I got room to shoot this puck here, but it looked like I skated out hard to block the shot. No, you didn't. You took the wrong route on purpose.
Question number 3.
Again.
Last one for this round, guys. From the 618, what is your concern level about the lack of an extension so far for one Joel Hofer?
I think Army's going to do a good job there. I mean, he's a restricted free agent. The Blues have plenty of money right now to match an offer sheet if it gets to that point. I don't think it will. I think that Joel Hofer is happy here in St. Louis. I think that I know for a fact the Blues are thrilled with where he's at in his development / career right now. I don't know what that extension looks like. I don't know if it's a long-term deal because, unfortunately, he hasn't proven he's a number 1 goalie yet. He's still always been the backup or / the 1B, as we like to call it, because we don't want to offend a guy like Hofer that he's not just a backup goalie. I would say Binnington's got, 2 years left after this? Is it 3 years total? I can pull that up right quickly here. Teams, look at that. Oh, my God, technology's great. St. Louis. So Jordan Binnington has next year and the year after. He's got 2 years. So maybe a deal for Hofer is a 3-year deal to where it's a bit of a bridge deal, gets him to 1 year past the Binnington contract to see where you're at that point.
There you go. All right, part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack is next, so keep those questions coming in. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack next in the Fast Line.
Give us your opinion on the Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation text line at 314-399-9646 on 101 ESPN.
St. Louis homeowners, are you thinking about upsizing, downsizing, or just relocating at any point this year? When life happens and you need to sell your home, I recommend you talk to my friend and trusted realtor Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Look, Gloria understands every seller's situation is unique. Everybody's different. They have different things that are going on. Well, this is why she's created custom programs to fit every home seller's needs. Many people move out of necessity, like for a new job or maybe a financial challenge, maybe a financial gain in your upsizing. You need a bigger home. Well, that's why Gloria Liu created her guaranteed multiple cash offer program, giving you up to 6 of the best offers with at least one of them at 100% of the market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Plus, you sell faster. Gloria did this for several people here recently, and she can do that for you, too. So please pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Remember, Gloria and the seller must agree upon price and possession date.
It's the first day.
You can now watch 101 ESPN live on our Air Alliance Team Studio Cams. Catch every show live on our YouTube channel or at 101ESPN.com. 101 ESPN Studio Cams.
Presented by the Air Alliance Team Heating and Cooling. Getting the job done quickly, correctly, 100% of the time.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Cardinals continue their schedule tomorrow. I'm Bradford Bruns. This Sports Center update is powered by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Friday evening will mark the beginning of a three-game set between second-place St. Louis and Texas. Matthew Liberatore starts for Ollie Marmol, who just watched his team topple Baltimore. Across MLB, clubs are idle everywhere. Philadelphia, though, did just beat Atlanta 5-4. Tonight, Dallas hosting Edmonton on 101 ESPN. Post Fastlane, Mizzou football, meanwhile, announces the kickoff time for that September 6th home clash versus KU, 2:30 p.m. The Sports Center update has been brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
I have a question.
It's time for the fast lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me.
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Must be 21 years of age or older. Drink responsibly.
All right, Bradford, if I can get question 5 here.
Oh, we're on 5?
4, excuse me, sorry.
Question number 4.
Eventually I asked the question to Jamie. But Carey, you were going back and forth with one of the texters about the superstar conversation.
Yeah, well, I didn't think anyone said it. He said saying McDavid is not a superstar is a level of stupid that can't even describe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not being able to
Stalter.
Stalter literally said he doesn't think Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid are superstars.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't. I said maybe the level of superstar that I'm talking about, maybe they're not at that level. I never said that they're not superstars. Yeah. Definitively. Yeah. My point was the word superstar comes with almost a celebrity to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know within the hockey. See, I think this is where I probably lost this person with my stupidity. I got out of the hockey world, which is where I started.
Stay in your lane.
I got out of the hockey world. I got out of the baseball world. I got out of the football world, which is where I think superstars exist. Mm-hmm. But I think when people hear that, they're like, you're saying he's not a great player. You're stupid. The word superstar, to me, means almost a celebrity. Like Tom Brady was a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to name a great quarterback.
Joe Montana.
He was a superstar.
Sorry.
Currently.
Joe Flacco.
Oh, God.
Josh Allen.
We went the other way now. Anyways, whoever a great player is, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean they're a superstar. That's where I'm at. It's not just, hey, he's a great player. Boom, stamp him, superstar. That word has got to mean much more when you think about the charisma, the presence, and whatever. If you can't get out of the hockey world, then you're not going to understand my point on that, or I'll just say, hey, I'm stupid. But Jamie, my question to you is, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, these are all stars within the game of hockey. Mm-hmm. Are they superstars elsewhere? You brought up the point, they're kind of just plain white toast.
Yeah.
Great players, but maybe they don't have that personality. How much does that hurt hockey?
It's quite a bit, really. Look, there's things that are unbelievable about the sport of hockey. You know, the culture is good. The players hold each other accountable. Like, there's a lot of things. You don't have too many hockey players where when a guy enters the room, like, oh, that guy's a jerk. Like, well, that's a pretty good guy, you know, like, overall. And you don't have many hockey players where the one guy thinks he's so much better than everybody else and he craps on people. Like, in other sports, we see that. We see superstars in other sports not always being the greatest guys or the greatest team players.
Right.
But where hockey suffers is this: keep your cards close to your chest at all times. And if you're a superstar, don't act like it. And you're not above the team. Mm-hmm. And you're going to give very vanilla answers on every interview because it's not about you, it's about the team.
Right.
And whereas there are players, if they would just, because I know certain players that are come across as plain white toast, but they're not. They're awesome. They're funny. They're witty. They have like energy. Those players could capitalize on a much larger scale internationally.
Yeah.
Because they're such amazing hockey players. If they just expanded and showed a little personality, had some fun, did some fun things, went to some events where they're a part of something big or something cool or a big rock show and they're like doing things, or like, those are the guys that are going to get noticed and become that superstar that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like Matthew Tkachuk. I don't know if he's a superstar as far as a hockey player, but he's a superstar. because of he's on commercials. He did the Amazon Prime thing, all that stuff, and then the Four Nations happened, and he starts a fight right away. There's not a person the next day or 2 days from that didn't know the name Kachuk. They just did. People in other walks of life, like, I don't know what it does, Kachuk boys, man.
Right.
They really took it to them Canadians. Like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
There's almost a, what's the word? You know, like when you see something on social media, viral. It's almost a viral aspect to it, right?
Yes.
Where a player becomes viral, not for one thing, but because it's gaining steam, you know?
And it wasn't just the fight. He's also an amazing hockey player.
All of a sudden you're like, man, I have to know more.
And then he's on talk shows, late night shows, and doing interviews. All of a sudden, he became a superstar.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about.
International superstar.
Question number 5.
Curious by the omission there. All right, guys, back to the ice, actually, from the 314. Has Jordan Binnington done enough, accomplished enough to have a statue outside of the Enterprise Center? If not, what else needs to happen?
Jamie says yes.
I did say yes.
Large statue.
No, it's the same size as the other ones that are there. It's just fine, Carey. Here's why. Jordan Binnington is the all-time wins leader. He's the leader in almost every category as far as goaltenders go, career-wise with the Blues. The only one he doesn't have yet is the number of total shutouts, which he will get to that number. And he's also the only goalie to hold the Stanley Cup above his head in Blues franchise history.
Is that good?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
And look, we've had some serious goaltenders here. Some short term, like Grant Fuhr was pretty short term, but he's a Hall of Famer. Curtis Joseph, Mike Liut, all these guys are really good goalies. Jordan Binnington has eclipsed them in almost every category as a Blue. So for me, I think at some point, not only does the number 50 get retired, I think at some point there could be a statue. And I don't know why anybody would push back on that. Not now, but like he finishes his career. Let's say he finishes as a Blue, and then you start looking at the numbers, and you're looking at 3, 4, 5 years into retirement. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Question number 6.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up with this. June 20th, we're not that far away. That marks the first day of summer, so let's keep it simple. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, cookie dough.
I can't eat ice cream.
Me neither.
Nah.
But that wasn't the question.
Yeah, but I don't like any of them. Man.
Why not, pray tell?
You lactose intolerant? Or
all my teeth that have been chipped and knocked out, all the nerve endings.
nerves.
When I eat ice cream, it's just like instant headache to my brain.
Yeah.
So,
I'm lactose intolerant, and I enjoy.
If I do have my choice of it,
Usually
though,
by myself.
you better be.
Please and thank you.
Do you eat it while sitting on the bowl?
It's
probably a good idea.
It's close
I don't
by.
care.
Yeah.
It's close by.
I'm gonna own this bowl in a minute.
Yeah.
I like this is odd too because you think I just say, "Hey, chocolate ice cream." I like when I have eaten it before. I like vanilla ice cream. And I drench it in like the chocolate sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And then I whip it all together. So it actually makes chocolate ice cream. But for me, it tastes different. What?
You remember these conversations, right?
Why?
About the plain vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you just go with chocolate, which is superior? And then everybody in the text line lights me up like, you're a kid. Plain vanilla is the best. But I do have to add a million things to it because, it's plain vanilla. But Anthony, you're a child.
My point was Carl Gunnarsson was plain vanilla ice cream.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's better than a nice, good, plain vanilla ice cream?
Literally anything. Except for strawberry.
You don't get it.
Strawberry ice cream sucks.
Those dipped cones hit, let me tell you.
I like a chocolate-based anything. You know?
Okay.
Like a Blizzard, brownie Blizzard or something. Just chocolate. Love chocolate. Yep. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We'll wrap up the show next.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are on ESPN tonight. Stars and Oilers. Pre-game at 6:30. Puck drop at 7. Your home for the NHL. 101 ESPN.
Spring into a new home with amazing savings at TR Hughes. Visit trhughes.com.
Fast Lane, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling on 101 ESPN.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. The podcast, of course, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Bradford, I think you should have honors.
Thank you, guys. What I learned today is that, CD, you are a man after my own heart when it comes to those multisyllabic words. Allocate, allocation. I love it, my man.
There you go.
Nice. Carey, what'd you learn?
I think I just learned I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
I learned I didn't know what the word before allocate or allocation was.
More than one syllable.
There you go.
Now he's mocking you.
No, he's teaching.
Was it the finger wag? Was it the finger wag?
The finger wag and the slow pronunciation.
All right, that was pretty pretentious.
I learned that if I didn't have money and couldn't afford a lawyer, I can call my guy Jamie Rivers. He can give me the solution for pretty much any problem I got.
I can also find a lot of problems for you too, Carey.
He'll add to your problems.
Yeah, you never know. Subtract one, add two more. I learned today that Carey Davis is lactose intolerant.
Oh, yeah.
Did not know that. Did not know that. Yeah. And he's willing to grip it and rip it.
Whoa.
for a good ice cream.
If need be.
Man.
Yeah. And I just tip my hat to the man.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Tip right back.
Bradford Gator in the Snake Pit wants to know, is that a Marcus? Is that a throwback Marcus Allen jersey that you're wearing?
I would love that play, but it's actually MU's own Nick Bolton.
Nick Bolton. Okay, it's a Nick Bolton
Michael's
jersey.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I don't
Gator.
think they're related at all. They don't know.
No.
though.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're much older.
It hasn't been proved. What I learned
hasn't been disproved.
What I learned is if you're good at a sport and you're a professional athlete and you don't call that player a superstar, you're a level of idiot. That is unquestioned.
Yeah.
All right.
Some people do think that, you know?
If you're great at your sport, automatic superstar.
I think that's right.
I learned that from the text line.
You also learned that vanilla ice cream is superior years ago. They told you about it. You just got to put all the stuff in there.
Stalter. Chocolate ice cream, huh? You don't have a sophisticated palate. You're a joke. Vanilla ice cream's the best. You just got to put a bunch of stuff on it, and it'll taste great, including chocolate sauce, and then you got to mix it up real good. But get out of here with your chocolate ice cream, you child. That's how the text line was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bradford?
Some compliments to be sure, coming from, as per usual, Lisa. Guys, had a great time listening today. Have an awesome evening. And Mahomes long body weighing in. Really enjoyed the ice cream convo and maybe not the visuals. But next time, next topic, summer cocktails.
There you go.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, good call.
We'll save it maybe for tomorrow.
Hey, there you go.
Tomorrow?
Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday, baby.
Text in. Let us know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your show. Tomorrow. Yep. Go ahead, Bradford.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, few minutes left. Let's run it. Star number 3 today goes to our Gauntlet contestant. It was a battle to be sure. Whether you call him Ed, whether you call him Tom, he got the job done. We loved having him.
There you go, Tom. Yeah.
All the things that go behind
Bradford
the
called
scenes.
Tom to get him on and called him Ed.
Well, we were talking and we were saying, Ed. We were doing what? And then he went, oh, Ed. He's like, sorry, Tom.
Sorry, Tom.
He felt so bad.
My apologies.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad choice. Star number 2 today, we are giving it to, before he walks inevitably in a couple of years, Brendan Donovan.
Get rid of him.
Man. Come
Donovan.
on now.
Donnie Baseball.
Now. Sign him now.
Donnie Baseball.
Man.
And our number 1 star on this Thursday edition of the program, in any and all walks of life, superstar.
Superstar. That's right. Gator, by the way, nice, man. He's going to see Perfect Circle and James Maynard Keenan tonight.
Oh,
nice. Of course, James Maynard Keenan from Perfect Circle and Tool. So that should be a good concert, huh, CD?
Sure should. The hell
I looked over and Jamie's like with me. He's like, yeah, and Carey's like, I don't know.
He was like, who are these people?
I thought he was going to see two people.
Would you say that since the last time you listened to him, it's been a while?
Been a while. Been never, probably. I don't know James Maynard Keenan.
Yeah.
Is that one person?
Yes.
Okay. That's how. That was. That's my SCA.
SCA.
I don't know, boy.
Anthony, it's SZA.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one of the best voices.
Really.
Of his generation there. Grunge, rock, alternative, Seattle sound.
So what's
early
the other
90s.
Circle Point? What's the other one?
Perfect Circle.
Okay, that's a group.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Yeah.
I didn't grow up listening to that.
Well, you'll be listening to it on the ride home, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure you'll be maybe Googling it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I really don't think you will.
We don't have our fancy little screen to tell me what we have tonight, but I imagine we'll have the Oilers and Stars game, Bradford.
At some point.
Pre-game at 6:30 following the replay presentation.
All right, so you got the instant replay from 6 to 6:30, and then right here on 101 ESPN.
Watch that superstar Connor McDavid.
Exactly.
You know?
And that superstar Leon Draisaitl.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yeah, they got two of them. So both superstars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They really are good.
Yeah.
They're both going to get power play points tonight in a big Oilers victory.
Probably not.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
You'll open up a big old can on us.
That'd be tough.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, signing off for Bradford Bruns and Carey Davis.
Dunvis?
Dunvis.
Who the hell is that?
I added Bruns and Davis. I get Dunvis.
Hey, Ed! Ed!
Oh, you know what? See ya.
It's Friday Eve. Have a good one, CD.
You can now listen to 101 ESPN on demand. Get caught up on all our shows and podcasts at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 mobile app. 101 ESPN podcasts are presented by the Schaefer Door Company.